ETA passt, also. Wow, dann ziehe ich mir das Interview einfach nochmal extra raus. Das passt schon. Hast du ihn da reingeschissen? Ja, haben 2-0 gewonnen. Was für 10 Minuten eigentlich? Wir sind 20 Minuten Post-Series, hallo?
Rotating that siege around, but we're gonna start out with some very normal comps here, okay?
On series.
Pantheon first pick for Griffin. This is pretty big if you follow Griffin's social media and maybe even Force within. But the meta Pantheon discussion.
That was his answer. Nah, das ist just on series. Ja, machen es einfach so, dass ich dann irgendwie hier in-game da auf die Größe mache ich dann das Interview einfach. Passt schon. Wir schon hin.
By their owner of the entire organization.
And it's actually the only champ that they have gotten wins on so far. They're 2-4. Both those wins come with him playing Skarner. Obviously, notably, the big catch on Sven against C9 last week was able to kind of turn things around. So
that was a notable one.
It was a notable one. And the other Skarner game he played, he was just monster. Start to finish, he was smurfing. That was right after the interview we had with Sentinel's owner.
Yeah, Rob Moore was like, oh, I love watching the scrims. My favorite scrim is when they have Hambach on Skarner. So we're going to see that on stage here instead this time around. And Skarner, you kind of highlighted the amount of CC that it brings. You always want stuff to keep people on a Rumble Ultimate. And Sentinel's kind of rounding it out here.
Sind wir neutral in dem Game schon, ja.
A very flexible champion. With a lot of options.
Azir offen? Ich meine, ich finde Azir strong, aber nicht so OP, dass ich würde Azir wahrscheinlich nicht fürs Rebound, glaube ich. Ja.
And what you can still do would be like a Talia, if you want to do Talia Pantheon. That kind of sounds nice to me for FlyQuest.
Wie hat sie SK geschlagen? Pathetic Fox. Wie immer. 5 Pathetic Loser auf der Rift. 9 Pathetic Loser, ja, 9 Pathetic Loser. Kusazuka. Wo bleibt Sven nicht? Ach, ich raste aus.
By allowing their bot lane to drop to the second phase, you're not going to get that Seraphine Ashe for free. And Masu and Cryogen have been super strong in the 2v2. So Rahel and Huhi are going to be knocked down a few pegs on the tier list with a lot of the heavy hitters already being banned or taken away. You know, Varus is gone, Seraphine is gone, and you now have the Nautilus gone as well. So they're going to have to try to find some sort of a solve to be able to play against this. You could go, you know, Yunara Lulu and that sort of style, which I think is strong, but I think we've been seeing people really feel like they've figured out how to lane against Yunara.
And personally, I want to see like a Rel for Huhi, because he has been playing all these, you know, Enchanter supports. He's been in there with the meta change and everything, but I love it when he is on prime stage for Sentinels.
Caitlyn 5 oder was?
It always looks really good. So I will take a Bard, you know, that you can have engaged.
Caitlyn auf 5? Kann funktionieren.
He can also peel.
Yeah, and I think it works with kind of what they've built up so
far.
When you have Ryze, you can play heavily towards side lanes. Skarner can go through walls, Bar can go through walls. You have Realm Warp. You have a lot of ability to move around the map.
Quay gegen Skarner auch super.
Side lanes. It is going to be the kind of more conservative option here. Just throwing out one of the control mages here for quad. He's one of our guys who does really enjoy playing the Hui. And Ornn would give them that go button, so I think it makes quite a bit of sense.
Kampf von FlyQuest ist super solid, right? Super solid.
Buffs on the patch as well, so a nice little boost there. And it's a lot of range is the last two picks here for FlyQuest. You know, the Hui, super long range, and Ornn as well, the Ornn Ultimate.
Die swappen jetzt schon, das ist ein Series, die swappen in den Pro-Game. Der Kette auf 5 ergibt Sinn, ja. Hui über Ari, bisschen crazy. Beides ist okay, oder? Ich mag Hui, ich glaube, das ist ein bisschen underplayed. Bin auch auf gebufft im Hui-Patch.
And they rounded out with some real team fighting picks for both their solo laners.
Yeah, and I think Hui is actually really annoying to play into for a number of these champions. For Skarner, when you're trying to go Ishal's impact through a wall, the fear is so easy to actually just hit and be able to knock him back. You can also just throw down your root at the end of a magical journey for
ich mag bei alles, honestly, sind 2 gute Comps. Frag mich, ob das hier so gut harmoniert, aber mal sehen.
Meanwhile, that Caitlyn priority I was talking about at the beginning here sneaks into game number 1 with the Bard combination we're going over. This strategy for super hard push on bottom side, try and punish as much as you possibly can. to open up some lanes for like a Rise split push later on. And then you can get some Realm Warp plays going for yourselves, play the map a little bit on the side of Sentinels. We'll see how good that is, because Sentinels, they have been able to have some very...
He's coming up, wird mir jetzt gesagt, der Junge, perfekt, wenn wir ins Game reingehen. Ich kotze.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to be able to get things going the right way. Sentinels still looking for their first series win of the split here. FlyQuest, of course, having a very dominant win against DSG last week, and Griffin looking to pick up where he left off there. He is posturing for a potential fight at the Raptors here at level 1.
Yeah, gets
Wo ist er? Check it, wo ist er?
Ward down though. Ward is there, but Ward also seen, so they can work around that vision. And interesting thing, when it's warded like that, especially, people are always really hyper-focused nowadays on starting Raptors, you know, so you get your Raptors to respawn quicker. But especially if enemy knows the respawn time of your Raptors.
Oh Gott, er mit einfach, ich glaube nicht, ne.
Griffin is almost a signature for him.
Weil ihr verpasst so 10 Minuten vom Game, da stehen wir drüber. Right, da stehen wir drüber, das ist okay. Wenn er mal kommen würde, der Hund.
Big hype though for this matchup is the age difference. Very big age differences.
Impact 31. Bro.
Namely on display, especially in the top lane. An interesting way to look at it is the age difference.
Buddy, what the fuck? It's been like 25 minutes since your series finished. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck? Why is my camera like this? Wait.
Bro, what can I say? I'm a busy man.
No, you're not. Hustlin
Everyone
told me,
wants a piece of this,
shut the fuck up. Hustlin told me you're DMing him, by the way. You fucking liar.
Okay, I was sitting on the couch backstage, completely oinking.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
What, so you were just waiting? So they just cucked me for fun?
It was a miscommunication on Riot's part.
Oh, thank you. Okay, perfect. Hey, congratulations. The enemy bot lane was really good today. But it was okay. Do you enjoy playing with Vayne top lane? Because it always feels like it's so useless for most of the game. Even if it gets like a 20 CS
top is fine, but against Nocturne, I feel like he can't pressure enough. Because he's always gonna be scared of Nocturne ult, right?
Yeah, but you last week.
So I think our draft in game 2 was pretty shit, and if they play better, I don't think it's playable, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay.
But it was true.
Okay, bring us a little bit up to date. Everything since you lost finals. You went to Brazil?
I'm good now, actually. We don't have to go that far back, I think.
Okay. How have your scrims been? You didn't take time off, right? You just came back from Brazil, back to scrimming?
No, we had some time off. We had someone on the team had a personal matter to attend to, so we had a week off.
Gotcha.
So we scrimmed a week, had a week off, and then we scrimmed again.
Yeah.
So basically we came back from Brazil, had like 3 days for jet lag, and then scrim 1 week off, scrim. That was our schedule.
Okay.
It was going really shit, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe. Like we were getting fisted by everyone. Okay, when I say fisted, I mean like, 2-4 or like 1-5 or 2-4, like 3-3 even some days.
1-5
like,
is fisted though. 1-5 is fisted though, to be fair.
I mean, okay, some days like 1-5 is like you threw 2 games up 10k gold or something. It's like win-lose isn't always the biggest problem, but we were getting really fisted by like shit teams as well. And not just like Lion or TL. Funny enough, the only team we beat like 2 weeks ago was Lion one day. We're like, wow, this league is so unserious, but it's been better this week. We're doing okay. We did get fucked by Lion yesterday in scrims, but otherwise it's been decent.
Yeah, it does feel like they're also struggling, right? Is it just like the whole traveling part is just like really fucking shit compared to people staying at home? Because it feels like if you look across the globe, like every team that has been to first end is kind of struggling.
I think there's something in the water in Brazil, bro. Like it's like a month-long duration, like.
Okay.
If I say that, it sounds kind of sus, but it's true, like everyone has the same problem, so maybe. But I think Lion is still the best team in the LCS. It's like not really that close, I think. Even when we beat them, I feel like sometimes we're like, it's like a heist, we're like stealing wins that we shouldn't be getting. But yeah, not
really
sure. They're a bit inconsistent, I guess.
Really? Because it's okay, so from outside POV, right? We only watch again, it feels like TL is just so good. But is it only if they get their drafts, we're just like, well, winning bot lane, winning mid lane, and like a jungle that can evade, or is it just like completely different?
I do think TL relies a lot on the exact same draft, but with different colors, like I said, winning top, winning bot, some sort of like freak champ mid, and then a jungle that can like play off of winning lanes. Like I think this team is really good when their ball is winning and top plays one of his main matchups like Sion, Renekton, or like Jace in a good situation, maybe Rumble. But I also feel like when they aren't winning bot, they aren't really doing that much as a team. Their best strength is just like win bot. Jungle plays off of it by like 3-camp invading or 3-camp diving bot and then playing the game from there. But if that doesn't happen, I don't feel like TL is that scary. But they are really good at that one specific playstyle, and they do have 3 really good laners, so it works for them for now. But we'll see. They are kind of like scrim demons, and they don't play as well on stage as they do in scrims. But we'll see. Looking forward to it. We're playing them in like the last week of the LCS, I think. This split.
Yeah, I think you do.
Like week 7 or something.
Yeah, I think you do. It does feel like they did the same last year, though, right? So is it just like a coaching stuff? Because it feels like, I don't know. I can't even tell what your like identity is, right? It just feels like, yeah, you guys like kind of good players, and then usually it works out, and your setup is like okay on Drakes, but then it also feels like, yeah, sometimes you just contest for fun. Because I feel like in game 2, for example, I have no idea why the fuck Thanatos TP'd into that Drake, and then for some reason the enemy decided to fight you, and you get to win the game of it. But it just feels like it's so panicky sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a problem is that we used Ambessa ulti bot a minute and 20 seconds before Drake spawned, and we didn't get anything off of it, not even a flash or anything, which is pretty bad, obviously. And then Blabber was late to contest, and before he even got there, it was already gone, so we couldn't contest it. And then by some miracle, Kalen lost his flash on the side, and then Vayne TP'd for nothing, and somehow he got to walk in and kill Caitlyn, and the Renekton TP'd from top tower he was hitting to take a fight that he was gonna lose. And we were like, thank God they TP'd and like gave us a fight we could win, you know? I was like, fuck, yes. So it was so screwed because they got Drake, no one in the team died, and we TP'd and they did not. We were like, oh my God, it's so fucked up. And then they TP'd, lost the fight. Like, that's why I knew it was scheduled loss for DSG. Like, it was just no hope for them.
Do you scrim them? Like, do you scrim these? Do you scrim these teams, or is it just like if no one else is available, then you scrim these level of teams, right? Because
we scrimmed them once last week, I think. But normally, we scrim just each team once. So like, normally we scrim Lion once, TL once, and then we just choose like who are we not playing. So this week, Sentinels, FlyQuest, you know, like just scrim whoever you played last week, and then scrim once Lion, once TL, and it's pretty good scrim schedule, I think, overall. Most teams don't like booking the same team more than once, so you're scrimming like just a rainbow, you know, one different team each day, which is okay, I think.
Yeah, it does. Actually, it sounds hard if you're only in a 8 league team, right? Or 8-team league. Which sounds like scrimming is like fucking shit.
Yeah, and now we're playing the EWC qualifier as well. So like, there's 2 teams per week you're playing against. So it's kind of hard to schedule scrims for everyone. So usually there's like one team right now that can't scrim because they're playing someone who's available. So yeah.
Is that serious? Because I saw that's like only a clean feed and it's like completely like it sounds it looks super unserious, right? There's like no cast, no nothing. You just play.
Yeah, I mean it is a qualifier, so it is something. But I mean the games I played at like 11, 2 games straight, no breaks or anything between games, just fast games. So it's like when you play against someone, for example, we play against Dignitas, right, on Tuesday. And we scrimmed Dig the same day after the match because someone else is scrimming, you know, everyone else is scrimming, right? So because there's 2 teams playing that day. I mean 4 teams, sorry, 2 matches. So there's only 4 teams that are not, you know, playing that day, and they're obviously scrimming each other, right? Those 4 teams. So we have to scrim those, you know, 2 teams that are also playing that day. So it's kind of like weird schedule. But yeah, man, it's okay so far. I do think that like if NA want to win Worlds or like compete or like be as competitive as possible, we should be scrimming more. We should be like, you know, playing 3 blocks every day because solo queue is not as good as it is in like Korea, for example. The ping is high and the queue time is long, for example. So
yeah, okay, but like, Korean solo queue is fake, right? Like it makes really, but okay, like in my head, it just makes no sense that every single European bootcamper that goes there goes like top 10. Like that is just not real. Because if you remember back in the days, it's
the
like
time you go and stuff, you know. But
But
I mean, these days solo queue is a bit fake. But still, if you queue up in Korean solo queue, the thing is like boot campers don't play every game they play at like, you know, 11 to 3 a.m. when all the pros are playing, right? But in Korea, they scrim like 1 p.m., 4 p.m., then 3-hour break until like 7 p.m., and play 7 to 10 p.m. Scrims, and then they play solo queue from like 11 to like 4 a.m. or something, and there's
Jesus.
only pro players in those games, right? Because in Korea you can't play if you're a kid. There's like parental controls or whatever it's called. So every game is just full pro players and like adults who are playing League, which is not many, right? So it's just literally just only pro players and like ex pros and like academy players and so on. And those games are actually really good quality. And every game being played on 4 ping just gives you like a whole different idea of like certain champions. Like for example, like Ezreal on 4 ping versus like 45 in my solo queue, right? It's like night and day playing like like this Ezreal build like with the hunger item and Shojin like 150 haste or whatever, like E every 5 seconds, like you're crazy with it, right? But on 45 ping, it's like fucking unplayable. So I do think that the best way to practice would be to play night blocks every day. But that's kind of intense, on people's like, what do you call that, like lives. You can't no life,
No,
right?
we can't do that. We can't do that. Yeah, we can't do
we'll
that.
be working a little bit too hard,
Can't do that over here. Yeah, okay. Are you guys improving though? Because I just saw like the documentary after finals, I think, where Dom's just like, unless you guys are taking scrim seriously, it's just like FF. Then we might
we
as
are
well not
taking it
scrim.
serious, but it's just hard to always get something from every game you play. And we have so many things to work on. For example, like we scrim against Lion or TL. It feels like every game, win or lose, is decided in like 15 to 20 minutes tops. It's all about like, do they win lane phase? Yes, we lose. Do they not win lane phase? We win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the way like TL or like Lion drafts, they're playing really aggressive early game, really fast game. And then we play against someone else, like let's say we're screaming against like DSG or something. Our main goal is to play the mid game and not throw and not make. We have a problem, for example, right now is that we don't use Baron very well in scrims. Like someone always dies after Baron, or someone like gets caught in side lane when we have Baron. Obviously, there's certain games. For example, today, right, we had Baron in game 2, and Thanatos died mid as Vayne. That game it's fine because we're playing Vayne against Nocturne, so someone will just fucking die at some point. It's a scheduled death, but each day different goals. Against TL and Line, we accept that those lanes are really good, and playing against those teams, the most important thing is that we get lane phase practice in important matchups, right? You get to test the limits, and then you just have to accept you cannot work as much on mid game against those teams because those teams just play a style where the game will be decided in the early game and lane phase mostly. But I think we're working on it. Yeah, I feel like we're improving, and we're also having some at times difficult conversations, but they're good for the team moving forward. So I feel like somewhat confident. Yeah, scrims are not too hot always, but stage games have been good so far.
Yeah, but it's always better. I mean, I watched the interview where you said like, in C9 you put like, I don't know, in 2020 or whatever, you played like Kalista mid or whatever.
Yeah, Like
anyway, whatever.
It was crazy.
On Nash topic, do you think Nash should be played on 3 lanes? Because I feel like first Nash is so useless, but so many comps nowadays, I feel like they lack engage. If it's not like an on, let's say, right, or a Nocturne, as you said, I feel like people don't really use Nash on, what the fuck? I feel like people don't really use Nash on 3 lanes when they could, or like they should probably.
I mean, it depends. There's like a lot of champs right now that punish 3 lanes really hard, like Vi, Pantheon, Nocturne kind of champs. But if you're playing something useless that can't gank sides, like Xin Zhao, for example, I think 3 lanes is good to break the second 2 towers, but it always depends on the game, right? Today in the game they had like Akali and Renekton and Nocturne. They can't defend their base, right? Against Kokinami. So I said like just run top and just don't stop. And even if they kill Thanatos with Nocturne ult and Renekton flash or whatever they use on him, they can't actually win 45 afterwards. In the base. So I think it just depends. But yeah, I feel like Baron isn't as strong as it used to be because it gives half the gold, right? 150 versus 300.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's harder to take the whole base compared to before. Also, of course, against like Kill and Nivea, it can be hard and those kind of things. But I think the first Baron is mostly used to just break the second T2 towers. So just depends on the game, I guess. Some games, 1 Baron means end, like our game today, for example, second game.
I mean, if they want to lose, right? Like, it's always like, does
enemy
want to lose? If they want to lose on first match, they will lose the game, yeah.
Well, that game was kind of scheduled, I think, already. Like, they were just 2 behind with a comp that can't play from behind. Like, if you play Kill and Nivea against Kokinami and I'm getting 2 plates before Triforce and my tower is almost full HP, you fucked up hard. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you fucked up really hard. I was even CS first base. I got to take a plate on first base. It was crazy. I was like, whoa. And I played the same matchup last week against Sentinels, and I couldn't breathe. I was like under my tower, getting fucked, you know, like low HP. And then this week I was like, oh, the same matchup again. That's great. And then they just didn't do anything. So
yeah, it feels like the power level is so. I mean, okay, how do you rate like teams in NA? Because it feels like there's such a clear, let's say, like top 3. I don't think Sentinels. I won't put Sentinels or FlyQuest. I'm not sure about those. I wouldn't put them in like the same level as you guys, Lion and Team Liquid, right?
yeah, I agree. I think Lion should be first until they lose in finals, or win, right? Whatever. I think we should be second until TL beats us or loses to us. Then we can reevaluate. I think TL get a lot of credit for being good in scrims, but until they actually beat someone in playoffs that matter, they should not be considered better than Sentinels. You know, I think that's unfair. But I'd still put them third because of scrims. You know, so I'd say Lion, us, TL. Sentinels should be fourth. I think that's what they deserve.
Yeah,
at least.
they're fisting right now. They're like 4K gold up at 16.
They are? Okay,
They're legit fisting right now, yeah.
I think FlyQuest is a team that's like a little bit flippy. Like, they can fist really hard or get fisted really hard. They're like kind of like that, you know, like where one game up 10K gold, one game down 10K gold. And that's how they play. They're kind of, I don't want to say they're brain dead, but they kind of play like it, you know, like...
Yeah.
I mean,
it feels like Griffin is really like coin flip, like extremely coin flip. We have like the series versus Kryra last week, and then we have the series versus you guys.
Yeah,
or Lion,
Fire, right?
or Team Liquid. Like, it's just like either he daddies or he gets daddied, you know? Like, it's just like...
the best games of all time and then the worst games of all time as well, right? So it's kind of how they play as Ballin as well. They play super aggressive in every game, no matter if they win matchup or lose matchup, and then they go 10 deaths or 10 kills. And it's like, I don't know, bro. Maybe it won't work that well against the good teams on stage, but I think Fly should be like 5th maybe. And then 6th, 7th, and 8th place is like DSG, SR, and Dig. I don't really know. It's kind of like on the day, I feel like. I think Dig's Ballin is pretty good. I think DSG's top laner, Photon is not Photon, Castle is pretty good too.
Korean, surprise.
Yeah, I mean he's been playing really well. So last couple of games they played, he's been like their shining star or whatever. I think it's just like each team has like certain players that are pretty good, but the rest aren't that good. Like I think Dig's Ballin in lane phase is pretty decent in scrims at least. Castle is pretty good early in DSG's games. And for SR.
Yeah, it's a bit unserious.
I don't know what to say. You know, they kind of just suck right now.
Yeah, but it makes no sense because how can you go, okay, like it's legit, like how does Cine go from like, yeah, he's like legit the next Chovy, like, you know, the big prospect, and then he just goes to like just losing in Shopify. It makes no sense, right? I don't get it. Is that guy like not good? But he has to be good. It makes no sense.
I don't know, bro. Like, we don't really scrim SR much, but he doesn't feel special to me. But Quid also didn't feel special to me when he came to the league at first. You know, he was pretty bad, I thought. So maybe needs time. I also think it's hard to play your rookie split as a Korean player in a team that is losing. It's like
contracts in jungle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that, but it's not easy to, you know, speak a different language in your rookie split and you're losing it as a team, you know, at the same time. So yeah, I'm not sure, bro.
Okay, 2 more questions. Okay, does this Lion roster survive until the end of the year? Because we saw Berserk has a green card now. Does also look like a pet shot?
Depends on one thing, if they win or not.
Okay, but do you think, they win the league, but they really suck at MSI, like really get fisted. Do you think they would still swap or keep it?
I'm sure they're considering it, but I don't know anything, so I can't tell you. But I think that in every team that has had like, you know, toxic atmospheres or like potential, what do you call it, like to blow up.
Yeah.
The only thing that keeps those teams together, even in my past, right, when we were playing in certain teams, we had really bad atmosphere, but we were winning, so it's all good. But then the moment you lose, it's over. Like whole team is blowing up and disband like fast, you know, like. So I think if Lion lose in finals or even worse, like in third place or something, they will change something. Yeah, I think it would. I'm sure they're already thinking about it. I'm sure all teams that have import slots available are thinking about it, and they should be. You know, it's like, it's how it works, right? You should always consider everything. You know, so
you guys too.
I'm sure Lion has thought about it. You know,
So you guys are thinking about it too? Because you do have an import slot open.
I mean, I'm not thinking about it.
Oh.
It's not on my mind. But I'm sure like the management or whoever's in charge in each organization is thinking about their options, you know, like they should be always. So
okay, and are we getting more? Do you know anything about if we're getting more like game days next year? Because there was like rumors about LEC, you know, going online, and then there's more game days. No idea.
I have no clue. Yeah, but I hope that we get more games, because I feel like in LCS, if you're a winning team and you go to nationals, like let's say Flag was from last year, right? You play less games, and like some of the worst LCK or LPL teams, like they play so many more games on stage than you do, and it kind of hinders the worst teams from improving, especially, right? Like, so I think more games is important for the region, but I also understand that like if LCS does poorly at Worlds or MSI, no one watches. If no one watches, the league doesn't want more games that no one watches.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive, right? And then we want to improve, and then it's like a circle of suck, right? So I'm not sure what the solution is. I think we just need like one really good MSI or one really good, you know, Worlds, and make people more interested in the LCS again, you know? That kind of thing.
Yeah, probably MSI.
It's not easy, but...
Actually, I mean, no, not MSI, because it's double elimination, best of 5. You can't win there. Let's do worse. Let's do... No, like, okay, let's keep it serious.
G2 just beat BFX and Genji back to back.
Yeah, now they're losing to. Yeah, now they're almost losing to SK, buddy. Come on, now let's take a break.
I mean, but like, look, G2 was like losing to like NRG in 23 and FlyQuest in 24 or 25, whatever it was, right? And like, then suddenly they're beating Genji 3-0 as well in a BO5, the best team in the world at that time, right? People thought it was like everyone thought first SEN would be like an email and Genji would just fist everyone, man.
Yeah.
And suddenly I wake up, I see on my phone, what the fuck? 3-0 G2? It's like a nightmare, you know? I was like, shit, what the fuck? And the next morning, it happened again. They beat BFX. I was like, what the fuck? Was it the other way around, maybe? Yeah.
I just were other way around, yeah, but it's still funny.
I woke up in a cold sweat, bro. I saw G2 was winning 2-0. I was like, no. Thank God they lost the finals, you know? Like, that would have been terrible if they won again.
Why? Because it's shit for your region, or because you can't handle it?
Obviously, I'm jealous, yeah? What the fuck?
Okay.
I don't want them to win. I want them to be me.
Yeah, okay, fair. Okay, last thing. Haslin told me to tell you, thanks for the Blauber Herald play. It was the most fun he's had in a while.
Okay, but bro, like, look at the replay. It looks like it hits the tower.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't, bro. You can't miss the turret. You can't miss the turret. He legit drove in a straight line and he fucking missed it. You can't do that.
Yeah, but he wanted to like angle it a bit so that he comes out at a certain angle, you know, so he can escape. But I was like, Blabber, bro, even if you hit the tower and you ult away, it's still fucking insane, you know? Yeah.
It was the most fun I've had in a while too, to be honest. Like,
that's actually one of our other things we focus on, our herald usage, because like a lot of time we get herald and we waste it instantly. Even today, I think our mid herald in the game 2 was like kind of shit. So
just use it on the third Drake, bro. Just use it like on the third Drake, like every top LPL team. Just do it on the third Drake.
Mid is not bad, but it has to go somewhere else afterwards. Like just the one play mid tower isn't worth it.
Yeah, I mean, the fucking turret has 9k HP. I don't know what they thought with that though. Like 9k HP is so insane, but you should always use it for the herald, for the Drake.
Bro, it's Frick season still, or Frog season actually now.
Yeah, I can't say it, but yeah, the Frog season. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not getting fixed as well. I don't know whether like it.
No, bro. Just pray for a hard reset on. Is it 2 weeks or is it 1 week?
No, it doesn't get hard reset, bro. It's over.
No. Just keep believing.
Yeah, but you told me like you have the connections. Isn't he coming to the LCS studio sometimes?
I don't know. How would I know?
But you told me about shit. Motion? Yeah.
If you got that kind of motion, I can just like control the game, like pull up and like, yo, Froxon, can you fix the game or what?
No, just tell him to hard reset it. Like, there's no way he doesn't come around to the studio.
If I tell him, surely he will actually do it, right?
Oh, actually, yeah, probably. Oh, actually, you go to the roadshow, hopefully, right? That's fucking nice. 2 roadshows in 1 year. Actually, nice.
Arizona, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of hype. Haven't been there before.
Yeah, I really hope you get there. Yeah, this would be. But I think it's like top. I think it's top 3 or top 4. You
sound very sincere, bro.
Bro, do you know how often you fuck me in finals? Every single year. Yeah, every single year, cheer. It's fine.
Last finals, I was kind of performing, though. Last 2 finals, actually, I was performing.
Yeah, and then the thing is, and then I watched America's Cup final, and then you fucked me. Hey.
Okay, but no one cares about that shit.
Anyways, thanks for the interview, bro.
All right, bro. See ya.
See ya, dude.
Peace.
Peace. Okay, wir sind back.
For an engage here, Impact taking a lot of damage. He's going to get bubbled up. Nicely timed Tempered Fate immunes the pop there from the Spiraling Spare. Griffin trying to attack on the side.
Und Sentinel twisted.
Involved here, but it just doesn't really hurt Hombach, and Hombach is not.
Nur Liebe, ja, nur Liebe an Sven. Aber warum war meine Cam so scheiße?
Das
check ich nicht. Das check ich nicht.
Yeah, they keep going after Ornn.
Kannst du mir das grob wiedergeben? Kann kein Englisch? Nope.
After Impact here.
10 Minuten, sagt der alter Mann. Oh, ja, bisschen länger.
Good defense from Huhi there, kept him alive. Now Gagos.
Call the Forge God going to be coming out. They are looking for the stun here, interrupting the Call of Forge God, redirecting. Gakos flashed over the wall, but he's got no way out from this spot. It's a pretty easy pickup there for Sentinels and immediate pings back on.
Kommt wieder auf YouTube, ja, ich highlighte es gerade schon und zieh's mir runter und lad's hoch.
Really troublesome part about being super far behind in games is there's a bunch of wards from your opponents that are so deep on the map. When you move out onto the map, they have a lot of teleport locations to just teleport on you and collapse after a play occurs. So Sentinels make good on the trap there, the punishment. And now with Baron, I mean, you really cannot stop Caitlyn this fed with Baron buff Siege. Like, you just can't do it.
It's going to be very, very
He's got
difficult.
Flash and Barrier up too, and a Bard that can defensively ult on
And
good
block
timings.
it, and your soul laners are super strong too. They're both up 2k individually, so even if you somehow magically kill Rahel, you might just be dying to the Rumble as well as the Rise, because everything would have to be sent onto him. So Sentinels looking like they are very close to being
Okay,
able to
13 Stunden 32
would be a
und
big win in the
30
game one here
Sekunden.
against FlyQuest, who I think a lot of people were favoring, though this obviously is one that could go either way.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, Sentinels looking pretty
Bis
controlled here.
Oberende.
Ooh, good immune there.
Yeah, nice Bellows Breath and use the Tempered Fate. Cryogen not so lucky. Stunned, suppressed, knocked into the wall. It is fish for dinner. Cryogen's dead in a hurry as they're just trying to play for some sort of vision. You know your only chance, and it's kind of a snowball's chance in hell at this point, is stealing the Elder, right? So you're trying to get some vision in that area, but Sentinels are clearing everything out, and they do not want a 50-50 to decide a game like this. They are just looking to barrel down the mid lane and see if they can close it out with another pick.
Ooh, I think they're going to be successful in that endeavor. Mid tower already down. Bot side, Darkwings has the minion wave here, ready to evaporate this tower as well. And Impact.
Ey, warte mal. Habe ich die Highlights wieder gelöscht? Nein, ich habe die Highlights wieder gelöscht. Ich fucking dog.
Trap starting to go down. I mean, the closest timer is Elder, so that's what they're thinking is nobody make any, like the only possible way Sentinels like kind of lose this game, somebody blunders at the Nexus right now, and then FlyQuest.
That headshot was 60% of his HP. Ouch.
Yeah, that's an ouch.
That was literally one auto.
Good
Okay.
One bullet is all it takes.
Yeah, I guess rapid fire headshot. Legit all it
32.
Masu sent back.
Ja, ich muss kurz das zusammenschneiden, damit ich es hochladen kann.
That IE's coming in for Cork. Next game?
Next game, yeah.
Next game, yeah.
That sounds about right. He's got a dagger right now, so.
That's not too close to an IE.
Yeah, so now all
No,
we
it's
gotta
not.
do, guys, all we gotta do is just play connected, okay? The
True,
only way
just
we're
gotta
gonna
play
lose
together.
is getting picked.
Yep, just keep getting picks, play connected.
I've been loving our Huhi shot call listen-ins. He had a really good one in the FlyQuest series. That's another bullet into Masu's head. Wait a second.
Someone might want to block that.
Nah.
He's not the president anymore. Too many deaths.
They're like, you know what?
He's been downgraded.
Nobody really wants to take that.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, Masu gonna pop the barrier as impacting a ton of damage. Cryogen might just burn down.
12 Gold actually, wow.
Dueling against Griffin, he's winning that, and the
Ich spiele halt nur FlyQuest gegen Sentinels, du hast die Sentinels schon verloren.
Sentinels loses no one, as it's just a couple members looking for the fight. Now the Realm Warp comes through. The three-man knockup. Masu is just shot out of the air. Rahel has been unstoppable start to finish as Sentinels dominate the first game here against FlyQuest. Hambach and Huhi want to chase Quad. They want another kill to pad the stats, but it's Impact, it's Rahel, and it's eyes on closing out this first game. Quad is going to die as well. Darkwings can't get there to steal the kill, but the Nexus will fall as it is 19-4 in just under 30 minutes. Sentinels going to be able to
okay, da steht 1-0, passt.
take game one.
Beautiful game from Sentinels. Controlled, methodical, big plays from Huhi, Hambach, and honestly, all of them quite good. It's I guess the hardest part about this game is going to be the discussion over who gets player of the game.
I think Hambach, he started the snowball. What do you think, Lounge?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I was going Huhi. I feel like the support.
I think we have like it's between those two.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it up in the air because I now already know the result.
Hey, I like to. Oh, we do.
So
We do. Don't look at the
Okay,
monitor.
I won't look at the
Don't
monitor.
look at it.
So, okay, machen wir das hier.
I'm going to
Zack.
go over the second Drake because I think this was one of the fights that kind of broke the game open. We had that earlier invade onto Raptors that Griffin got caught out at. But then here, I think this,
So, das hier
as you can see,
herunterland.
Griffin is already channeling Pantheon ult. This is from smiting the Baron, so they've already procured the second Drake for Sentinels. And this Pantheon ult comes in very late and off the top right here, which allows for this Bard portal to just go out, and the rest of Sentinels are going to be able to escape very handily. Not only that, but Darkwings is actually going to be able to ult into the mid lane to catch that. And now Sentinels, after
Das 4 Koreans bei Sentinels.
clearing,
Ist einer, ist einer, ist einer. Ja, ja, 4. Es sind 4, ja.
You saw all the pings going down. And then they just clean up Cryogen first and then get right onto Masu. This is just, I really liked Sentinel's willingness to kind of go all in, especially when Hambach is on this Skarner and Huhi is on a playmaker, because you can see in each of these cases, right? Like the Pantheon ult is coming out late, but they're still able to escape anyway via the Bard portal. They had a really good setup on the bot side to further dive onto Masu and Cryogen, and that Bard ult is then their go button.
Huhi was everywhere too.
He was. And so there it is.
So, jetzt einfach kurz das Trio hoch.
The game. Hambach getting at
Oh,
least a nod.
Kobe voted for us. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
this is
that's
Sailor
true.
with Hambach. Okay.
I was wondering if
makes
it was going to
sense.
be a casters versus analysts lounge.
We do win that. Yeah.
We do.
Uhi,
Yeah.
das ist schon mal kein gutes Zeichen eigentlich.
The interview that we, or like the pros episode in which Impact did talk about like how we felt like bot lane generally creates a lot of plans.
Yeah.
And he like was like, maybe we shouldn't go for like this draft anymore. Like the idea of going for something that's heavily playmaking mid jungle, because like bot lane will tend to do it. Guess who's the major playmaker? The major thinker? It's
See, our
Uhi.
Twitch chat's smart.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
the
Smart.
Twitch
So,
chat-
das hier, zack.
Same wavelength.
Yeah, I gotta say though, props to Hambach. I think he deserves more than 5.4% right there. He got the Skarner. Blabber was walking by and he was like, how does he keep getting the Skarner, man? Like, why do teams give this to him?
Yeah, apparently he is just crushing it. Like Rob Moore brought it up as early as week 1. Was like, I hope to see Hambach on Skarner. I think it suits his play style really well as a
Okay,
playmaker.
lädt hoch das Interview, super.
He's really willing to go in, and you can still
Heute schneller LCS-Tag, hoffentlich. Heute, boah, heute 1 Uhr fertig, wäre
Drake
super.
focus, right?
Yes.
Like
I don't
again,
feel like it
this
was
is a
super.
huge Drake focus game for them, and it really
So.
paid off.
And even earlier before that, like the Raptors contest that they had on top of that, like that really pushed out and killed Griffin, and all of it is supporting Hambach's play, and I think Skarner makes it easy. It's an easy go signal on how to be able to start a fight. So now that they don't have Bard ulti and Skarner ulti, we got to find a little bit more creativity there.
Also, final fact, pour one out for Masu and Quad. They had 0 losses, unfortunately. Both picked up their first losses on those champions. But make sure that you at home don't miss out on any LCS action when you get your favorite foods delivered on Uber Eats for less gold. On the other side of this break, we'll hear from last week's Player of the Week, and Game 2 is coming up right after this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Rich in the ground before Dove can even get there. In time to try to knock out as Impact gets bursted.
Don't feed.
Knocks him down.
Get fed. Scan the QR code for deals.
Mein Primary Team will morgen zweimal scrimmen. Boah. Boah. Zweimal Scrim ist crazy. Ich bin kurz auf Toilette und dann gehen wir rein in ein Game. Zweimal sind. Boah. Ich krieg nicht mal einmal Scrim hin, tatsächlich.
Is it fine? I think. Yeah, we should fight. We should fight, guys. Come. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. Yeah. Wait. 나더 갈 수 있는데. Hit. Kill them all. Nice. Oh. 돌았네 캣. 밀어. 나이스. Turret 2 and the base.
Sentinels running over FlyQuest. They get destroyed in the bot lane.
So.
Welcome everyone and congratulations. What? Put your damn phone down.
Oh.
I didn't know we were
Player of the week.
No, that's fine. We're doing it live. But yeah, congratulations on being able to win week 2 Player of the Week. That was a pretty insane week for you. You just kind of ran through, especially on your Nocturne game. How did it feel coming out of it?
Oh no, I mean it feels great because we haven't played on stage, or like we haven't had a win, like a series win, in quite a long time, maybe like 2 months.
That's crazy though.
Feels kind of bad because it does feel like we're improving a lot, especially after we went to Korea. But then we went back and faced TL. Should have won that series, to be honest. I think we definitely, if we were more disciplined, that was a free win. But yeah, and then it feels good, like to get a win after quite a while.
It has to feel great that you win your first Player of the Week. During our Player Week interviews, we just basically have like 90 seconds on the clock. Rapid fire questions. If you don't want to answer a question, you want to move on, you can go next. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Who in the world would you want to duo with or hit the gym with?
Hit the gym with? Owner.
Yeah. Who?
Owner.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay.
Who's your NA GOAT?
NA GOAT? Bjergsen.
First LoL esports match you remember watching?
Yeah.
TSMC 9, I don't know what year, but very long ago.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2015 or something.
Good.
Perfect. Celebrity crush?
I don't really have one.
Okay, no, that's good. A jungler you believe in, but lobbies will dodge if you play it.
Oh, Nasus.
There it is, Nasus. Spell Griffin, the real Griffin.
G-Y, oh no, G-R-Y-F-F-I-N-N.
That mother, he failed.
I was gonna fail.
How do you fail? How'd you befriend Kryra?
Kryra, Kryra used to be like young and challenger, same with like Sniper, so me and them were friends just because we're all young. He was 15, I was 13, we were challenger.
Okay.
So yeah, it's something to relate to.
What's a red flag that you have as a person?
Oh, red flag?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a bit toxic.
Okay. What's a green flag you want in a partner?
Mit dem request ich auch noch ein Interview.
Yeah.
Definitiv.
There it is. Who do you credit most for where you are as a player today?
Credit most?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, you can move on next.
Yeah,
I can't think one. Tips for the viewers out there to get swole?
Get swole?
Yeah.
Be consistent. Yeah. Be consistent. Consistency is always going to be the #1 thing that triumphs everything.
Nice. Last question on this one. Who would you rather be stranded on an island with on your team?
On my team? Okay, let me think. So, Akko's low IQ, Cryo low IQ, Masu low IQ, Quad. No, I think I'm cooked.
You're cooked?
I'm cooked. On the team? What about
Anyone.
coaching staff too?
Yeah, coaching staff works too.
Maybe it has to be Apollo or Think Hard. It seems like they're the most put together.
Mit dem request ich noch ein Interview.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. They may get you guys.
Nächste Woche. Warte, nächste Woche?
Easily. But no.
Muss eine Solo-Games heute spielen? Nein.
Nailed that one and,
Nächste Woche gehen wir spielen die, lass mich kurz schauen. Die spielen gegen Dignitas und die spielen Samstag um 22 Uhr. Gebonkt. Nächste Woche Griffin-Interview.
Yeah, all right. Going straight to the Sentinels games.
Nächste Woche Griffin-Interview, passt.
Okay.
Great to hear from Griffin, but you know what, Kobe? I'm going to need him to step it up, you know, if he wants to win another Player of the Week here.
Consistency is key, he said.
Exactly. And he was not owning in this first game.
No,
not as hard as in the last week.
No, that's inconsistent
Yeah.
with the previous week in which he earned the Player of the Week award.
Exactly.
Congratulations on getting that.
Congratulations. Well
However, Hambach Skarner, a little bit of a jungle diff there.
It
So,
was.
there you-
Hambach Skarner is starting to become one of those champions where I'm like, maybe you need to ban that.
I think, well, they talked about the lounge, just saying Blabber was right there saying the same thing. So if the enemy
He's
team,
building a reputation.
yeah, if the enemy teams are already saying it, then maybe it starts showing up around those early bans even.
Yeah, there's some of those players.
Dum,
Hey,
dum.
yeah, it's meta. Yeah, you don't normally ban it, but you probably should against this guy.
APA Ziggs.
Yep. I feel like Morgan Renekton is one that a lot of people talk about. You know, I do think that this is maybe getting to that level as well, where it is getting a little
Dum.
But we will see what the answer is going to be in the second game here for FlyQuest. FlyQuest coming in, I think it's fair to say, slight favorites in this matchup. Sentinels obviously had not won a series just yet. And of course, you know, like the beating one team and then having them beat another team doesn't always really matter, but it's like FlyQuest dominated DSG beat Sentinels, right? So I think that's always kind of in people's minds too.
Und Blabber-Interview, oder hier muss. Ja.
If you see
Irgendwann gibt es auf jeden Fall eins, aber ja.
Don't let that, you know, hamper your expectations. Because I feel like this team, they either snowball really well and they crush, or there is a high likelihood if they're going to lose the game, they're going to get blasted in that game because they'll keep fighting.
Or against.
Exactly. There's going to be a large snowball in the game. Whether
And they're helping to make it.
Yeah, if they're in control of it or not, that's the question. And it does kind of seem like very clearly like they do so much better when they do have a good early start and an early lead. And if you come back to the early Raptor play, so Hambach and Griffin both start their top quadrants. That is red for Hambach and blue for Griffin. And that means his Raptor camp is desynced by, you know, 1 camp duration of time. And so come in for the second respawn on those, or the second spawn of those Raptors. They contest them with a mid and with a support there, which, to be fair, should be very easy to communicate and say, hey, these are no longer our Raptors. I can't move mid. You know, bot lane also has support runtime.
You know what, Kobe? Sometimes you just gotta be willing to die for what you believe in, you know?
Nee, nächste Woche mal mit Griffin auf jeden Fall. Das machen wir.
Raptors are mine!
Yeah, we've seen junglers be willing to die over chickens and over crabs, for sure. All right, well,
Gotta respect it.
Game number 2, it's a whole fresh chicken camp.
Yep.
That's what they say.
They're ready to die for it again.
Yeah.
Not giving up those Raptors.
New game, new Raptors, same me.
Same me, exactly.
All right, Orianna ban gonna be consistent here until we get some changes to the champion. I think that is just gonna stay that way. Most consistently banned
Frühfeierabend wäre sehr geil. Da kann ich noch Anime schauen, ohne mich schlecht dafür zu fühlen. Zu spät zu schlafen, das wäre sehr gut. Ja, wirklich super.
Exactly what that is signifying, but phase 2 that Seraphine got banned out last time, so it's interesting to see that here being available in this second game. And I feel like with the 3 bans from FlyQuest, they may be the ones that want to go into...
Anivia? Was wollen die Rice? Oh, die wollen... Nee, Rice ist raus. Was wollen die?
I mean, I really like it.
Warte, was wollen die?
Especially when Caitlyn is already out of the game. Looks very good to me. Then I say, if they do a Nash Seraphine, then my preferred counter with Caitlyn already being out would actually no longer be the Ezreal Karma and would be a Nautilus lane for kill lane. Ezreal
no pairing that with a Mundo.
But Ezreal Karma is also still good. Karma, of course.
Ash Seraphine ist auch offen. Das heißt, Ash Seraphine, Ezreal Karma Trade.
Karma players consider them fairly small and still kind of performs what you want to do with this champion. So the early Karma pick does definitely highly signal likelihood there for Ezreal Karma strategy into the Ash Seraphine. And looks like they're happy to take the other side of it anyway.
Du solltest den Sau picken, definitiv. Du solltest den Sau picken, weil wenn die... Das gefällt mir nicht, wenn die jetzt den Sau Ezreal gehen. Weil was pickst du jetzt hier auf 3? Pantheon ist raus, Javan ist gebannt. Ja.
And I always find that interesting. You know, what do you think would be the thought process here for Hambach as far as like the matchup he would prefer? You know, if they are in fact going to give over.
If they did Xin, I would go Trundle into it because Trundle is very good 1v1 into Xin and can perform really well for team fights with Ash Seraphine. And if you are a Trundle player with a Hawk Shot on your bottom lane, it feels so good because this champion is really good in dueling, especially a Xin that can't really get away from you. That would be my thought process, at least, if they did, you know, go for it.
I kind of like this because this is flexible, right? So they could go either way. So now you can't really just kind of hard assume where it is going to go. But that might mean that the you know, Xin is going to go the other way. And then if you are worried about the
Interesting, dass sie hier besser gehen. Offensichtlich ist es ein Sauengel, right? Sehr offensichtlich ist es ein Sauengel. Sollte es werden.
With Seraphine, you want a bruiser who's going to run in to be able to bounce the encore off of pretty much every single time. And I feel like whether that's Wukong or Xin or whoever, I do think that's something that they'd be looking for here.
Yeah, for sure. And then Renekton, in case the Ambessa is top, that's going to be a very good matchup.
No, it's not.
For the Renekton.
Es wird gefleckt auf jeden Fall.
In case it was, you know, might want to rethink that. Still a possibility, of course. You know, some people just love playing Ambessa so much anyways that they're like, you know what, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, the likelihood of the jungle Ambessa went way up with the Renekton pick, which Renekton is also universally fairly good for blind pick when you have protection bans after the third pick.
Sollten sie ihn saubern.
Doing right now, the Gnar, one of those.
Wukong Ban, ja, kannst du auch machen. Wukong Ban finde ich am wichtigsten jetzt.
You know, other answers are like Jax and stuff like that.
Even Sion, I quite like Sion into it. Even though you're losing early, I just don't really think it matters.
Yeah, my only danger, like I still think the Trundle would be a good, you know, possibility if they then did try to do Sion into Renekton, and then you have like a you know, team counter. But it's definitely is another viable, good viable.
Kannst du Nafiri bannen, actually. Nafiri wäre auch nicht schlecht für Sentinels, glaube ich.
With the Ash Seraphine, serves that, doesn't have to just be the jungler, top laner as well here too. So the Annie, they don't want the explosive engage to really set up. You know, Annie and Ambessa is very, very dangerous as far as the super quick engage, and they don't want, you know, Ash or Seraphine getting blasted super early on, and that's definitely a combo that could do it.
I mean, I think it's really smart because when you're thinking about FlyQuest, it's like, all right, well, when you think about the best engagers from top lane, it's already Ornn, and Ornn's already gone, right? So you're thinking about these kind of picks that are going to give you some sort of snap engage, because right now, FlyQuest doesn't really have any engage. Sure, you can start a fight with public execution, but without setup, you're not even guaranteed to hit that, and it's not that reliable as a go button.
Also, if you're thinking about the actual players too, Annie is the only like real mid lane engager that Quad plays. Most of Quad's other full champion pool is way more, you know, control mages, way safer, much more range stuff, regular like you know, farming Victor style stuff. And so Annie is kind of the explosive engage champ.
Das mag ich nicht so sehr.
He has put time in
aber I guess, okay. Die Theorie ist, sie können natürlich nicht wirklich, also sie müssen ja besser Jungle packen, right? Sie müssen dann besser Jungle packen, ansonsten läufst du halt Renekton gegen besser. Das machen wir nicht. Ja, eben. Es muss besser Jungle sein. Ich war, ob sie sowas wie Kennen picken würden, aber oh jeez, yes, das mal.
I'm gonna say that is 100% now a Griffin Ambessa, and they're going to go with the Jace into the Renekton. Okay. Gakko's Jace, definitely a lot of confidence there. If the Renekton and Sejuani, though, if they get a good gank off on that Jace, it can get, oh man, it can get painful. You have to be really, really protective of your flash and have to put in some good jungle tracking and warding here.
I'm really struggling to think of a fifth pick from FlyQuest that will make me like their draft. I mean, they have good poke, they have good kite, but I do think if they do not really do well early, it's going to be so hard. There's a lot of ways for Sentinels to start fights. You know, whether it is or an Encore or Renekton flank.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich hiervon überzeugt bin.
Tools there.
Wenn die behind fallen, haben die wieder niemanden zum Face-Checken. Das ist... Weiß ich nicht, Guys. Weiß ich nicht. Ob das funktioniert, weiß ich nicht.
They're just so light on engage, and I don't even necessarily think they're guaranteed to win in the side lanes where you would want to, right? Because Sejuani Renekton is such a powerful 2v2, and Ashe plus the Seraphine are really powerful 2v2 as well. Of course, that bot lane can go either way, but if their bot lane doesn't win, I'm very worried for them.
Yeah. Honestly,
Schwierig.
I always really like the super strong teamfight comps.
Yeah.
Just regardless, but especially with these actual players too. I believe this is Quad's first Aurora game. We were talking about, I was like, oh, Annie's the only like real explosive
first this year for sure
engaged champ that he has play, and I'm looking at his career long actually
first career
play game.
well.
So it Annie's the only one that he has put previous time into. People, of course, always can practice new stuff and definitely can bring it out on stage.
Der Jace carry this game?
It does make you
Nee,
a little
vielleicht.
hesitant to have a lot of faith in it. And so, Quad career first Aurora here into a very strong teamfight comp from Sentinels.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Lanes feeling very important for FlyQuest in this one. If they can't get some early advantages, I do worry that it could just be a very quick 2-0. And Sentinels, they've got a lot of power in the early game. They've got great team fight, great scaling, so many ways to actually pick fights and engage that don't even have to be a lot of commitment, right? You can just throw an Ash Arrow out, throw a Glacial Prison out, and look to start a fight in that way. So pressure, I think, on Gakkos as well as Masu and Cryogen to try to create some isolated advantages and to try to avoid the ganks that Hanbok will be looking for, because he was fantastic finding those in the Skarner game one.
I will say, though, the Ezreal Karma, they should still, have some advantage here into the Ashe Seraphine, despite the
So, schauen wir mal.
2 patches.
Ich habe noch keinerlei Vertrauen in die Comp von FlyQuest, aber vielleicht zeigen sie, dass es trotzdem funktionieren kann. Mal schauen.
And the growth, as well as the mana cost nerf. So we'll see if the mana actually is anything real.
Also, wenn Mario getroffen hat, ja, ich habe Poster gesehen, ja, das Bild.
Attack
Dank.
damage ends up adding up from all the trading, but they should still be able to accomplish the same goal of the Ezreal Karma. Get the poke, get the push, try and have it, push on bottom side.
Seht ihr, wie die Fly-Comp hier gewinnt? Ja, die müssen ultra ahead sein und dann dürfen die, also, die müssen ultra ahead sein und dann dürfen die noch keinen Fehler machen. Ich glaube, mit der Comp ist es so leicht zu throwen. Expression, danke für den zweiten. Und die Trolle, danke für den 20. Dankeschön. Sorry, was ich gesagt habe vorher. I forgot. Oder hab's nicht gesehen. Was war Bowser auf der Kaktus? Das ist eher die Frage.
Incredible, I felt like against TL last week. More up or down, definitely not as dominant as people were kind of expecting in their 2v2s, even though they won the series pretty hard. And then here, we come into that last game, and of course it was, not just an isolated 2v2 thing. It was a lot about Hanbok, but they again got put down pretty far compared to where Rahel and Huhi were.
Yep. Rahel, Huhi having a pretty good game, series for themselves so far, similar for Hanbok. And both junglers are progressing.
Wieso verkauft er da Pokémon-Karten? What the fuck? Bowser, lol.
Same thing. Heal does go out here, so we have both heals and an extra summoner spell for Rahel with the barrier being blown. 2-for-1 bonus trade here for FlyQuest, so everything going according to plan. Karma with the -2 AD doesn't really care, seems like. Again, if you miss your skill shots, then you're going to want that 2 extra AD bro, and make up with auto attacks, but they don't really care. They're still accomplishing their goals here. Push in, force the recall, and it's a pretty heavy CS deficit at the moment. Rahel is heading back to lane right now and should be able to, make up some of the deficit, but No barrier as well if they do get
Oder wer Boaster?
down there. Hanbok
Boaster, der Valorant-Spieler für Fnatic.
went back for the top side crab to be able to trade with Griffin. Takes him a bit of extra time. And still going to be able to get off on a pretty easy recall here.
Also getting pretty aggressive. Shifts in, forces the flash there from Rahel.
Ja, guter Flash.
And they're going to flash in for the tether. It's going to land onto Huhi. Don't think they'll have the damage to kill.
Ja, er muss blocken.
Rahel and Huhi
Durch Fantasy.
sent back to base again. And Masu still hasn't even based yet. The bot lane going amazing for FlyQuest in the 2v2. But I wanted to take a moment to talk about Impact, who is holding up well so far on that top side in the top lane. Has been having a pretty darn rough split. You know, this is his laning stats. 8 out of 8 as far as gold.
Jesus.
14. He got kind of blasted in a couple of his series, but he was going up against Castle and Thanatos, 2 of the best laners in the league. And he did well in game 1 in the Rumble, created a nice little gold advantage for himself. Team fought well. And here in the second game, of course, it is early minutes.
Geht's dir blendend und
Very
selbst.
well against the Jace of Gakos again. So Impact, you know, getting back to what we expect from him, which is that really super solid top lane play.
Yeah, and to me too, it's like a lot of the plays that contributed to the gold difference were the reason to be worried for Impact. Not, top lane itself, if you're like sometimes top lane is one of the
sieht ihn
most
nicht. Das ist
heavily
unlucky.
influenced bot lane matchups. And
Ist es unlucky.
Okay, you're always taking, you know, losing matchup, play for team, you know, style matchups. Then yeah, okay, you're gonna have a lot of losing. You know, CS deficits and stuff, but some of the things were like lazy recalls or, you know, getting outplayed, and Hanbok up here with the Sejuani.
Und Top-Lane-Matchup ist rough. Guter Gank. Sehr guter Gank.
Waiting for him. Easy bait there.
Ja, alt. Kenne.
Gets the first blood for Hanbok.
He's looking good. Old man out here knows how to call jungle at a good time.
Help.
Honestly, though, you're always expecting Sejuani, Renekton synergy whenever these two are on the you know, same team. But I mean, that is a very, very, very efficient and effective lane gank there for Hanbok. Like, wastes 0 time at all. Instantly gets the kill for the top lane. They don't have to use flashes, but you know, Gakos doesn't decide to use you know, waste his after the jump in, but it's perfect timing. You come up through the lane, Impact has his stun ready for Gakos, low health, like perfectly baited, man. Nice acting there for Impact, and good timing for Hanbok. It was just 6. There's a cleanse on Ezreal, so he's looking right now.
Geile kommt von Sentinels, ja, und Quatsch, kommt von FlyQuest, to be honest.
Karma has no flash. Ezreal standing.
Ja, du musst halt warten, ne?
Cleanse and flash. Ah, yeah. You really want the Karma there? Because that's like a guaranteed kill with no flash and the no cleanse.
And they didn't have eyes on Griffin for a long time, so maybe they were nervous about a potential 3v3. You know, if you go for Masu, and even if you just get the cleanse, it's not bad, right? Like, if you're actually, you know, looking for that, you can relieve some pressure on the bot side. But if Griffin's behind, then you might be destroyed in the 3v3. So, was a little bit...
Die macht sich in A so, ist ein bisschen, ja, schwierig.
Ward on enemy Raptors, but they hadn't seen Griffin on that, so I think that was maybe making Hanbok a bit hesitant. And so Masu and Cryogen will continue to enjoy their freedom on that bot side and keep that pressure going up. 22 CS now in that 2v2. No kills to their name, but still looking very good.
Yeah, they still have the flash advantage down there. Rahel's barrier has come back off cooldown from the early usage, but yeah, still a very nice, healthy advantage and lead for the Karma Ezreal. Undeterred by the small nerfs. Interesting show here from Griffin to cross for Raptor.
Laser, danke für den Deck-Stand.
Lane push, so and Bessa can annihilate these things so quickly. All you need is the early cross and
Hammer blutet Camps. Das ist, also wird gepunished dafür. Aber mattert, glaube ich, im Großen und Ganzen nicht so sehr. Der kauft Standard Sky first auf besser.
Started walking from bot lane right away, and then, as you say, they just killed it too fast. But it was kind of reminding me of last game on that Bard roam. Was able to get up there, but this time Griffin kills it off no problem. Had mid prio, and Cryogen is behind quad. As Griffin just continues power farming away, Hanbok, of course, still does have that gold advantage, but it's not much of one considering the fact that he did get that first blood gold.
Seraphine helping out.
Joji geht sich damit noch nicht aus. Nee, ist Glowing Mode. Passt da nicht rein. Glowing Mode geht da nicht rein. Shojin, nope. Es wäre ohne Glowing Mode. Sollte Standard Sky sein. Also, Außer das Glowing Mode hat er vor Fun gekauft. Was ja sein kann. Right? Weil ich glaube, du verlierst nur so 30 Gold, wenn du es verkaufst, aber ja. Also kann immer noch Shojin werden, right? Nur das Glowing Mode wäre halt nicht dafür da. Aber du würdest es halt für 30 Gold oder sowas würdest du verlieren, glaube ich.
The early dominance popped here from Impact. We'll get him a pretty nice trade onto Gakos, but of course, now you're going to have to be worried about a potential dive. Griffin's on the other side, though, doing the dragon.
Yeah, and with the trade for these grubs, looks like it's just going to be the 2 for Hambach. Wants to get back out to the other side immediately after, and teleport return for Gakos. Just go back to base and invest the teleport
instead. Yep, okay. Interessant. Ich spiele ja Thunder Sky Deathstand oder was?
Oh, but they do get the flash out of Cryogen as Hambach was seen on that ward, blast coning over. He knew he was going to be in the area, and now Quad going to go between worlds here, trying to get the damage down onto Darkwings. Definitely will not be able to finish him off, but the weirding does connect, and he gets a good trade.
That ward is so good. That ward over the back of the Dragon Pit. I think it was Cryogen himself that put it, that we saw him when he was clearing out enemy vision in Dragon Pit, and then he put that one too. Because this...
Oh, flash forward, he gets him with the final goes across the veil and dodges out from the glacial prison. Quad in his career first game on the Aurora gets a solo on Darkwing.
The lead right there. Gets
so quatschig.
The summoner spell as well too.
Oh.
The flash and the death. Here we go on top side.
Griffin probably went too far here. He's trying to stay around. They do get the camp. Impact is running back to the tower. Seraphine is coming up.
Oh my days, bro.
Gakos is going to have to flash the wall. Will do so. And does get out at the end of the day. But Griffin overstaying perhaps as Huhi trying to walk back towards mid and thinks better of it.
Oh man, explosive mid game here. FlyQuest making good defensive plays and offensive plays in quick succession to earn themselves.
Ja, Quatsch von Darkwings ab, da darfst du nicht sterben, of course.
See how they can keep this one up. Again, Sentinel's comp is really at its best when it's nice and balled up here. Really big team fighting, beefy front.
Thunder Sky, Deathstance, Cleaver,
but FlyQuest can shine now.
Visage.
He hits the pullback after the flash. Flashes in for the auto, and then he still had the pullback damage too. So he gets Darkwing's flash, 1 for 1, and gets the kill. Beautiful stuff. And Hambach ultimate there. You know, Sejuani ult at the end was used also to try and punish, but couldn't quite do it.
Ash Arrow is going to nail Gakos. They saw that going through mid lane, through the top lane. Gakos, I guess, just didn't see it. Griffin is up here, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get out. Knocks him back. Impact, slice, dice forward. Can't quite catch back up to Gakos. That is going to be so frustrating for him.
Oh, nine.
Hambach trying to help turn it around.
Oh, nine.
Griffin finishes him off, though, and Hambach is not going to be able to win the 1v2. Will be able to push them back. But
yes, das mal, ja.
Frustrating for Impact. I thought he was going to have Gakos in that 1v2.
Oh mein Gott, Impact zu Ank.
Ich weiß
nicht, ob er hätte leben können, aber ich habe schon wieder das Gefühl, er hätte leben können.
But he really wanted to make good on the kill off of the Ash Arrow. But after he uses his slice and dice, he's for sure toast. Even with Hambach coming up there. So another kill for FlyQuest. They're building on this lead. I mean, this is good for fans that do want the third game here. FlyQuest looking much better with the early lead and going in on Darkwings again.
Ja, jetzt muss man mir erklären, warum Darkwings seinen Beda auf die Q davor benutzt, wenn halt jederzeit so eine Combo dann kommen kann, right? Das ergibt doch gar keinen Sinn.
As he just gets out the reflect from Darkwings on an early trade, and he knows, you know what, I can just send it. Even if I don't kill you here, you're going to be so low that you have to base.
Yep, nicely done from Quad again. First Aurora game of his career. Looking good.
We'll give him 1.5 solo kills.
Okay.
I think we can compromise.
You only get a half for that?
I mean, the Karma Shield, it's technically not one, but I mean, you gotta give him something, right?
1.8.
1.8.
1.9.
I could be convinced. Yeah.
So let's up the percentages here a little bit.
Karma deserves what percentage of that kill?
Yeah.
Like 3% maybe? You know? Hey, I was there too.
Honestly, you know,
Könnte das Game geben, könnte es, ja. Ist möglich.
More money for the team.
6 Minuten, okay.
They'll take it.
Beautiful shield right there.
Gorgeous shield. Really made the play.
That's with the nerfs to the Karma Shield. Holy crazy stuff there. He invested extra mana to do that.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, was auf Bottom passiert ist. Ist es so unlaneable? Kann schon sein.
Still able to take down the enemy bid laner.
Beautiful stuff.
Incredible stuff.
Handling those patch changes
like a champ. All right, well, now it's a 2.4K gold lead here for FlyQuest. Hasn't been that many kills, but it's a bigger gold lead for Masu with no kills than it is for the 2 pretty much solo kills there for
Irgendwas ist da auf jeden Fall Botnet passiert, aber ich weiß nicht was. Irgendwas ist da sehr komisch, weil das kann eigentlich nicht so schlimm sein, das Matchup, das geht gar nicht. Also 30 CS kann nicht sein.
I could solo kill this guy too, I bet.
I'll do it again.
Masu's like, you know what? Let me try my hand at it. I got a Trinity Force. See if I can land some poke on this guy.
Yeah.
How long on his flash? Let me see. I want to do it too.
Yeah, maybe he needs a rocket belt of his own. You know, get in there. Maybe that's the key.
Yeah, get in there. Maybe Darkwings needs one to get out of there.
Yep. Everybody needs one these days. And Cryogen has a McHale's. Definitely an obvious rush this game.
Ace, baby. Das war fein, oder? Ich kann mich nicht mehr dran erinnern, to be honest.
It's pretty much guaranteed you're going to get some good value.
Yeah. Honestly, my question right now too is, are we convinced? Because we're like, oh, FlyQuest, they got to get some, good early leads. The Sentinels team fighting, the synergy between these champs is going to be really annoying when they group up, when they get their full 5-on-5 front to back. Currently, I am actually convinced. I think that FlyQuest have done enough so far.
Ja, das habe ich mit 0-2. Gibt's einen Pro-Player in der Wettmafia?
Aurora burst damage is
War ja nicht.
You want to be able to burst down Ashe or Seraphine. If you can take
also bestimmt.
You take so much, of the synergy down, and that with Ambessa also getting a kill. Those are 2 really big weapons to kill them. So this makes it a very exciting game for me because. It's not just going to be like, oh, dang, this Sentinels team, like, with an early lead gets to just group up at Dragon after Dragon team fight. No, FlyQuest have done a very good job getting their lead on some of these carry champs.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, they've set themselves up in a good position here. But we have to remember, it was Huhi we got to hear the listen in on when they were in a much worse spot. And this was him, moments before they actually lost. He said, in the end, it's going to come down to just one fight. They found that fight. They came back in that game. And we'll see if they can do that here once again as Griffin missed on the ulti. They're going to go in, though. Rahel in trouble already. Quad flashes.
Okay. Wow, Griffin ist unkillable, oder was? Oh, ist killable. Ist sehr killable. In fact, ist sehr killable. Oh, Gakkos ist so deep. Viel zu deep, oder nicht? Die haben immer noch Mel-Ulti, hallo? Wollen die nicht weiterspielen?
To get some more kills.
Yeah, you can kind of see it already. So part 1 was good. FlyQuest though.
Quad could be in some trouble here. Is going to pop the weirding. Goes across the veil. Kiting back. Gakkos arrives. Huhi here to try to shield up and protect the team. Sentinels at the end of the day kind of coming out on top as far as the health is concerned. And the Herald went to Sentinels as well.
Yeah, getting the objective here. That's going to be some, guaranteed turret plate money for them later somewhere.
Fand ich, wie die Couch finanziert wurde. Mit hartem Battlen in Subs. Ja, aber ich glaube, wir sehen, also Rachel ist hier schon sehr fucked und wir sehen, der Teamfight sieht trotzdem ziemlich gut aus. Gakkos ist natürlich drin.
Able to follow up there, got a good ultimate through on them, and then they heal and shield.
Not bad. They use TP too.
Exactly. They used TP and got the Herald and get the 1-for-1 still, and it's still pretty early on in the game.
Gakkos could be in some trouble here. The Herald gonna get dropped. Hombak and Huhi are behind him.
Gakkos hier stirbt, das ist nicht gut. Dieser Jace muss eigentlich im Game ankommen.
It's gonna be started off there by Hombak, but he's just gonna run for the hills. Pops the Ghost Blade as the TP's coming in from Impact. So they are gonna lose this tower. It should be first tower there for Sentinels. Unless Quad is about to kill the top lane one, but that's going to be a nice little injection of gold.
Interesting that they're going to give up 2 lanes to do this, though, mid lane and top lane. So it's gonna, both of those are actually going to fully go down. Top lane, I'd say, I mean, Quad is quite dangerous, so Impact, even if he had stayed up.
Also diese Ambessa hat gleich ihr Death Stance für den nächsten Fight. Die wird super tanky sein. Und Rachel ist überhaupt nicht gut im Game. Da muss sehr viel von Impact kommen. Sehr viel muss von ankommen.
Infield Reporter.
Yeah.
But
dangerous job.
Instead, though, now you're at a TP deficit for the matchup with Jace. Darkwings, on the other hand, has his TP back now. So they can have the Mel instead kind of catch waves on the side. and offer that teleport assistance.
Yep, so he's going to be able to try to answer there. FlyQuest, though, just want to continue stacking dragons. As long as they're in control of the dragons, they are going to be able to make Sentinels come to them. And that is where, you know, the lack of engage is not really going to matter if they force their way in. But remember, the LCS Spring Finals are going to be taking place in Mullet Arena at ASU from June 13th to 14th. The tickets are available now. There's the QR code right on your screen. Scan it up, grab your tickets, and we will see you there. Spoilers, we're going to be there.
Woo! Azale, going to be there in person live reporting?
Yep. Be front row cheering you on.
I do, yeah. That's going to be me. All right. Honestly, with
ja, ich sehe, dass die am besten ein Riesenproblem ist. Ich glaube, Sentinels kann diesen Fight wahrscheinlich nicht gewinnen. Realistisch, ich glaube, Rachel ist nicht ansatzweise useful genug. Mal sehen. Vielleicht unterschätze ich den Renekton. Maybe. Aber sieht extrem schwierig aus. Plus Mikaels ab. Mal sehen. Hamburg Impact sieht auch sehr schwierig aus. Das Game endet, wenn die Intensity bekommt. Ja, kann ich mir gut vorstellen, ja. 2,5k. Gehen die für 50-50 oder was? Nein. Oh mein Gott, und er missmitet auch noch. Okay, ja, das Game ist sauber, oder? Ja. Game ist sauber. GG.
With the Ash falling, the
GG.
falling, FlyQuest grab the dragon, and they got their eyes on the Baron. They're clicking all in, pinging over there.
GG.
That was one of the most awkward contests I've seen in a long time. Sentinels were late to it. Then they have the front line on the bottom side, then the Sejuani in the middle there, and FlyQuest just...
Ja, gegen die komponieren ist kein guter Look, bin ich ehrlich. Also 1 Uhr morgens, also um 1 Uhr ist Schluss, wäre halt auch wieder zu schön gewesen, oder? Disgusting. I mean, Impact hat kein TP, right?
Darkwings has now moved over. Huhi is coming now, but it's down to 4K. Gakkos is on the side trying to threaten them. They get vision on it with the Hawkshot, but Hombach just cannot get in. The Encore is going to whiff. The Baron is going to be secured. And FlyQuest, maybe they want to fight now. Hombach going to try to jump over the wall. Quad looking with the weirding, cannot connect. They do get a bounty on the bot side with that tier 2 tower being taken there by Impact to get some gold back in their pockets. But FlyQuest with a huge series of plays.
Yeah, I mean, props to Griffin for continually assassinating one of these squishies. But I also think we saw some poor setup from Sentinels as Impact. Gonna be able to slice dice, gain some distance.
Yep, for now, getting back. He did spend his flash. He has the dominance in a couple seconds. Should not die there. Griffin covering Quad. They're going to TP in. Griffin's going to go for the fight, but he's getting...
Was macht denn Griffin da?
Heavily here. They're
Hallo?
around onto Griffin. Can they finish off the kill? They can. Impact arrives on the teleport. Quad is in trouble. Pops a weird trying to kite it out, but can't do it.
Unserious. Todes-unserious schon wieder. Minus 2000 Goldplay. Unserious.
I love that. They don't want to let FlyQuest just push all lanes with Baron buff, so they fully commit. Overload topside. Send all 5 people. Our greatest
unserious
synergy with full 5, and they just fully attack a side lane here. You're still going to take losses from the Baron empowered sieges of the other lanes, but
sie sind trotzdem zu useless, oder? Realistisch sind die trotzdem zu useless. Mal sehen.
Negative Baron power play here, so a good amount of gold recouped by Sentinels with a smart call to fully overload the top side. All 5 people go. Look how many wards all sprinkled around up there, and getting a bunch of gold back here into this massive synergy of team fighting for this squad. If they're here on time and they set up their battle lines for the Dragon Soul fight, it's going to look real good. So Griffin does go in again on one of the squishies, but all of Sentinels arrive here. The teleports come in, and everybody's able to complete the extra kill plus the tower after. So huge shutdown money going through, money off the tower as well. And that's going to fund a lot of these item completions for Sentinels. See everybody basically with at least 2 items for themselves.
And holy, the Baron power play, negative 1,500, and is now
even
just
worse,
hovering around that 2K advantage for Fly. But at 22 minutes, that's not really that big of a deal. We were at a bigger gold lead like 15 minutes ago.
And especially, you know, right before the next, the Dragon for the Dragon Soul here, a minute and a half, you're already thinking about the setup over there. And Now it's, you know, almost even 3 items for Darkwings. With the Shadow Flame almost going to be completed for the Mel too. So they certainly have fighting capabilities here. You group up, you've got Sejuani ult, Ashe arrow, Seraphine ult. It's definitely going to take some good positioning from FlyQuest and some good skill shots hitting as well. They got to make some Jace and Ezreal poke count for sure. It's just so hard because you try and go for your poke, the engage is just so easy. Ashe arrow.
Die Ashe sieht immer noch so useless aus, oder nicht? Fuck, die macht keinen Damage. 0,0, aber Renekton hat 2 Items. Problem balanced. Mal sehen. Darkwings auch noch kein Shadow Flame fertig knallt. Oh, hat das jetzt? Jetzt immer noch nicht, ne. Close. Ja, ich glaube, wenn der Arrow trifft, dann stirbt irgendjemand. Arrow into Seraphine und so weiter, da stirbt schon jemand. Mal sehen. Griffin hat auf jeden Fall Mercs. Wahrscheinlich wäre Endless Hunger sogar ziemlich OP für den, oder nicht? Noch mit Tenacity.
FlyQuest are in the area here. Both teams sending all 5, of course, for this fight that they know may decide. If Sentinels wins this fight, they're going to be in a pretty good spot. Quad has not yet spotted Hambach, and he is looking on the side here. A little bit of poke coming out there from Darkwings as Masu is trying to fight and get this damage down on the Hambach, who's just side.
Ja, Mikaels plus Cleanse up. Schwierig zu engagen. Sehr, sehr schwierig zu engagen.
Not a good setup this time around. Good front line here, pushing bot wave. Griffin gonna start some damage on this dragon though.
I don't think we've seen a single Mystic Shot connect, and now Masu taking quite a bit of damage there. And
Er muss eigentlich Cryogen ulten, right? Mikaels raus, 50-50. Geklaut. Big Steal. Big Steal.
I like how they just back off afterwards too. They're like, that's all we needed. We just need to deny this soul. Now we can regroup, set up again. For our fight. We already invested our Sejuani, Ashe, and Seraphine ults. No need to do anything further here, so Sentinels accomplished their goal. Man, all right, let's take a look at this. Is it just straight up pretty even? Yeah, I mean, not like
wow.
A lot of burst on Sejuani or anything. That's just good smite.
Wow. It's 1409 Phase Smite into Secure, oder nicht?
I saw it at 2500 or so, and then it was dead.
Ja, es war bei 1409. Eigentlich später so stark, Renekton ist später super stark. Ja, natürlich Level 16 auch noch und dann knallt.
Also gotta say, I mean, FlyQuest just couldn't hit any poke as they were walking in. Masu felt like missed about 10 minutes.
Ja, ich mag die Comp, also die Comp von FlyQuest mag ich immer noch nicht richtig. Ich weiß nicht, ob sie das Comeback hier hinbekommen, aber ich mag die Comp von FlyQuest immer noch nicht.
Sentinels handled it really nicely.
Yeah, and then if you do, it's like, oh.
Also möglich ist es auf jeden Fall, ja. Möglich zu comebacken ist es auf jeden Fall.
It's gonna start to get rough for them. You gotta get real creative in how you approach these fights, and maybe FlyQuest can hope for another fight like they saw at the 3rd Dragon, where it was like a weird setup from Sentinels where they had their front line kind of split from 2 sides, and then Sentinels were probably also trying to think too much about the steal instead of position there for like Rahel and Huhi. But I don't necessarily think
mag ich das BT Third bei Rachel?
where either Ashe or Seraphine does get blown up.
Weiß ich nicht, Bro.
A few of those this game, you know, Quad had good burst damage early, and Griffin had some good ults onto them.
Diadem fertig bei Seraphine
It's
auch.
more and more difficult to pull that off later into the game with the battle lines pretty easily set up, and then the protection here for Sentinels. So Sentinels stabilizing in this game and really threatening the 2-0, I think, even though they're still down in gold. And there's
Alien, seht ihr die Klicks?
dragons, which could lead to another Dragon Soul fight in almost 3 minutes.
You see how nervous they got there from Griffin, because once Rahel was hugging the wall, he knew he wouldn't be able to dodge the public execution, so Hui popped his heal to give him more move speed, even though he's at full health and the engage hadn't come. So they were definitely sweating that engage could be coming through, and now Hambach maybe going to look for one of his own. Man, these sidesteps from Hambach are ridiculous. He's just not letting Masu hit him with.
Der lässt sich nicht hitten. Okay, jetzt lässt er sich hitten, aber davor.
Serpent's Fang here to cut through shields, to reduce the effectiveness of the Seraphine shields. Maybe it's going to help. Some poke lands now.
Jace is bot lane, so Sentinels have to decide, do we go for a hard engage or do we send someone to respond? As Quad taking a little bit of poke. Now, Gakkos is going to be the one calling off. He will be looking for the base as Quad trying to get around on the side. The Reflect going to be used here by Darkwing, so he will be much more vulnerable now, and FlyQuest do get some control here around that topside Baron.
All right. Retaining mid-wave control, retaining vision control over Baron. But at the very least there for Sentinels, Impact is able to spend his time bottom, and the rest of the team doesn't get caught. That was a little dangerous period there where they're like, okay, Impact, gotta go take care of the wave on bottom side, and the rest of the team has to play a little defensively and deny the engage again.
Did you like the call from Gakkos to base there? I kind of feel like he should have just pushed the Tier 2. You know, you already
Ja, da passiert nichts auf Mitte. Also ich meine, Waves waren sogar fein. Also ich glaube, für beide Teams war das okay, darauf Mitte rumzugucken.
in these like 5v5 standoffs. So I feel
War
like
tatsächlich sogar okay, denke ich.
able to force someone to respond.
Weil die Toplane Wave jetzt für beide sehr neutral war. Also du hättest da hochlaufen müssen. Und dich dann in Gefahr begeben müssen. Glaube ich okay.
That would see the arrow come down. Maybe he's worried about like, oh, if I get hit by an arrow, then Impact can kill me. And then like the rest of the team still couldn't like rush Baron.
Yeah.
But that's pretty hard to do too. So
it is.
Honestly, FlyQuest, it is difficult at this point because you have so many things to work around that Sentinels had. But keep on pushing. They did get the Serelda's Grudge just completed now for Gakkos. So maybe that will make the poke more substantial and the slow can help out.
You can see Rahel now has his BT completed, which is going to make it that much more difficult to knock him down. Poke is going to matter a lot less. And obviously does have that Seraphine there to protect him. This time Masu landing a lot of poke there onto Hambach. Gets a good amount of damage out onto him. Nice sidestep there, but actually he's back into the root. Thankfully, he will be staying pretty healthy, and it's Aurora pushing topside, trying to force a response.
And look at the wards. He has so many wards here that could come in for teleports for the Aurora. One behind Raptors, one behind their own jungle. He's going for the Gromp ward.
Yep, he's going in very.
Hambach hat noch, das passt, ne? Das passt.
Low. Impact arrives with the TP shield, and here he comes, but he gets instantly.
Dark Wings lebt immer noch. Griffin bekommt sein Death Stance Proc, nächster Death Stance Proc, GG. GG.
But Griffin flashes in on him, and down goes Rahel. And no matter how resilient they were, Sentinels cannot get it across the finish line in this one. They made FlyQuest work for it, but that flank from Quad is gonna seal the deal in game 2.
Ooh, they destroyed it right there. FlyQuest gonna grab a win, push us to another one.
They're going to push on the base here. It's just up to these two members. Can they cut the wave? Hambach is not that tanky.
Schade, dass da nicht instant One-Shot ist.
Knock down the first Nexus Tower, knock down the second, and will push us to a game 3 here against Sentinels. We are in for a treat.
Woo! Quad and Griffin were really ripping in that last one. I like the move. No hesitation from FlyQuest. Immediately jump on them. You know, even with the Ash Arrow right in the face, it just opens up space for the other carries there. All right, analyst test. How you feeling about that? We're going to a bonus game.
Oh, we're feeling fantastic. We're feeling good over here. This was what we expected to be the closest series coming into the weekend, and it's delivering. After that first game, it felt like Sentinels were on top of the world, but FlyQuest, what a turnaround.
And what a way to do it. You get Ezreal Karma, you get the best of jungle there for Griffin. Pretty much like, even though Ezreal Karma is just the best, I feel like duo right now in the meta, it's also Masu and Cryogen's best pair. So like, you get all of that in the draft, and it looked incredibly good in all of those team fights.
I'm glad you brought that up, Russ, because I have some bot lane stats from Masu, mainly because usually when you are picking this Ashe Seraphine, you do ban the Karma to take away this kind of prio bot lane. This was Masu's forward percentage, CSD at 14, and goal difference at 14. He had no kills at this time. This is pure, raw lane only. And it shows you why, again, when you're trying to go for this Ashe Seraphine bot lane, which is like unbeatable unless there's natural karma up.
And
a lot of other things.
And well, let's talk about a lot of the other things. Actually, perfect segue. Yeah, let's go a lot of the other things. A lot of it is just the team fighting. So I wanted to actually kind of focus on the team fight here. Let me actually get that going for you guys so you don't have to see this. Perfect. This was for Third Dragon.
Misa wollen nicht mehr so viel Geld investieren. Ganz einfach, es rentiert sich nicht. Right rentiert sich nicht für die, deswegen, ja. Downsizen die einfach.
Significantly easier. But Gecko's TCs. They have great control work here and here in line bush and banana bush, so they have a lot.
Für wen ist man? Boah, für wen sind wir?
Ezreal Karma is also really good.
Boah, eigentlich für Rachel, to be honest.
Sentinels are sending.
Der verdient zu gewinnen. Warte, nach Fußball ist so gute Laune. So, hier gibt es zwei Optionen. Entweder Bremen-Fan oder Leverkusen-Hater. Was ist es?
Impact is just chilling here, being like, guys, I know what the HP on the Dragon is. Speed your butts up. And so Sentinels end up walking through the line bush as a team. And now this is really ballsy to just kind of like sit right here in front of 4 people. But Masu is an incredibly good Ezreal player to basically like recognize and challenge them. Hey, if you're going to throw a Sejuani ulti, I'm going to E out. Like, I'm going to blink out. There's no...
Derby-Sieger.
Like,
Okay.
you want to try it? Try it.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of
Exactly, there's a lot going there. And so Gakkos on the right side of the fight is marking Impact, and even though he is going to eventually like lose the fight and back away from it, it makes it so Impact never gets an angle on the flank. And on top of that, just take a look at this engage. The Mbessa engage is actually excellent. And Quad is at a perfect angle to just zero in on Rahel, who's in no man's land. So they just basically target him from this angle. Impact is so far away, there's no way for them to be able to catch up. And so as we play out the fight, incredible engage. And initial ulti from Quad.
Okay, wow, hier sind einige Bremen-Fans. Hilfe. Wo kommt ihr denn her? Aus welchen letzten Löchern kommt ihr denn gekrochen, bitte?
A great team fight, great laning phase. That's kind of what we expected in game 1, but it came through in game 2.
Auflösen, ja.
Griffin also showing up big after the tough start to game number 1 was awesome to see in that fight as well.
Yeah.
We got to highlight that. And there were multiple other fights later, like that last fight at the Dragon Soul. He's just like unkillable and just kind of pushes through. But I'm happy you brought up the Quad point because I wanted to highlight Quad. This was his first career Aurora game.
Okay.
And I actually want to take a look because he did a couple really cool things in game. So Raz.
Und der Player von MyProtein genutzt, gib bitte bei sowas immer wichtig Feedback, ne? Also ohne Spaß, probier's und dann gib immer Feedback.
That was pretty cool.
Weil ich bewerbe die Sachen, ja. Ich liebe sie, die Sachen, aber trotzdem immer Feedback geben.
The question the casters pose, Emily, what do you think? Is this a solo kill or does Cryogen earn the assist because it's just a Karma Shield? That's all that's coming in here.
I mean,
and then what percentage of assist is this?
That's not a solo kill.
They said it was like, what, a half a solo kill or something? Is
Yeah.
what they gave it.
If you have a
like,
hype man behind you saying,
Yeah.
if anyone interrupts this, I'll punch him in the mouth, that is not a solo kill.
Just the presence is
The
enough.
presence is all
Yeah,
you need. He's a
true.
get-out mechanic. Then he gave him
Zoning
confidence.
assist. That was his
There you
He
go.
gave him confidence.
But let's
It's
take a
fun.
look at our player of the game. For me, it was initially Quad, but it is Griffin. I switched at the end as well.
Wow,
But
Azale?
Wow.
Ja, gültig. Ist gültig. Kurz auf Toilette. Ist gültig.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of messed up.
Come
that
on,
you
high
decided.
mentality, Azale.
No, that's on you.
Ich will erstmal Mango Bag essen. Nope. Ich habe die Liste mit dem, warte mal, ich habe doch die Liste mit den Restocks.
What
Da
happened?
kannst du schauen, wartet. XXL Restock,
What happened to the
Moment.
ball duo? You guys don't have that like that anymore?
No, that was Freak's thing. That was
Hier, da sind die Restocks. Das ist alles
I'm
morgen.
actually growing mine out so I can differentiate.
Oh my God!
Got 67% of the
Okay.
That,
Als ich probiert habe, ja, wie gesagt, gerne Feedback. Das ist
And
ganz
when you're
lieb.
talking about just like style points, I think Quad can win it. But team fight execution, Griffin, I think had
Shout
him.
out to Masu. I do think he had a really good Ezreal.
well, I'm just gonna double down on shaming Kangas because like not only did he
It's becoming a
do
broadcast
Azale wrong,
standard.
you did the fans wrong. Can you apologize to all of them
Solo cam on me.
now?
I'm
Get
sorry,
'em.
fans. I'm sorry for letting you down. I'm sorry for letting my bald brother Azale down. And Quad, I'm sorry for letting you down. But I don't think that you care what I think about you. I think that you care that the fans were behind you, and you had a great Aurora game. So good job, Quad.
Oh.
Oh, what do you want from me? I just did
That
it
was
live.
You served your sentence.
Can't please anybody.
That was a good one. That was
Can't
good.
please everybody for sure. All right. But I think turnaround now it's a close series.
Yes,
so
it
do we
is.
have any flip-floppers? I went Sentinels
No.
2-1. You
I
still
have
both
no
said
reason to
FlyQuest.
flip-flop.
Remaining
This is your
firm.
chant, Raz. Come on.
Not now.
This
I like
is your
how you
thing.
identified him as the weak target.
Yeah, I believe that you would stick with your guns.
I'm sticking with my guns.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, respect.
Shout out.
Respect for that. The first time ever. Quad, first time Aurora. Raz, first time sticking with his predictions. There we go. But
there's at least one other time you stuck with your prediction.
I don't know. I'm just going for it. Trying to do content over here. All right. Reminder that during LCS Spring Split, you could win a trip to a League of Legends event like the Spring Finals. Save your MasterCard as your card on file and make a purchase from the in-client store for a chance to win. We got a Game 3 ahead of us as Sentinels and FlyQuest both pick one. We'll see ya after this break.
Oh my god, I'm boosted.
My plan already ruined.
Oh, this is tough.
If I'm gonna get disqualified, I might as well say no.
That's so grief, man. And now we just do the magic.
I'm going in.
That's pathetic.
Am I looking fight or do you want to keep poking?
We keep poking.
I'm looking soon. I like to look. They're looking soon.
Okay, go.
I'm going. I'm going Mel. Mel is one.
Mel no flash.
We kill Mel first.
Renekton's done. Ash. Okay, we need Ash. We need to find Ash. Okay.
I can speed you still.
I want to be.
They made FlyQuest work for it, but that flank from Quad is gonna seal the deal in Game 2. Welcome back to the LCS here. Remember, tickets for the spring finals at ASU's Mullet Arena on June 13th and 14th are now on sale. Woo. Head to Ticketmaster.com or scan the QR code to book your tickets today. We, though, for now, we're not there just yet, so hold your horses. We got to wrap this series up.
One of these teams could be there.
They could.
All
they both could be
possibilities.
there. Maybe this is the finals.
Oh, yep, could be.
Wouldn't be surprising, but it could be.
Certainly would be.
Okay, let's the game. Come.
Really good series so far, though. You know, FlyQuest bouncing back, as we said. You can watch them get blasted. Doesn't matter.
Crazy, dass sie den Draft gewonnen haben noch. To be honest, sehr, sehr crazy, dass sie den Draft gewonnen haben.
Nice.
Unfazed.
Yeah, unfazed. No hesitation either. Big damage on this comp. You know, both Quad and Griffin starting to do a lot of output really early on with some of those kills. And Masu and Cryogen making really good use of the Ezreal Karma. Despite the nerfs, just exact same gameplay. Keep on pushing, keep on poking them down. And now that brings us to our final determining game between the youngsters and the Unks with FlyQuest and Sentinels.
The youngsters and the youngsters.
The youngsters and the youngsters, that's good.
All right, well, it is going to be Orianna, Nocturne, Annie all banned out. So targeting Quad a little bit more. You talked about Annie as kind of that prime engaged champ that he does have. That was his first ever.
He's got the Aurora in there, too. He's got Aurora card.
I voted for him. He got the 2 solo kills now because I'm.
There we go, them.
It's not 1.9 anymore because it works for my argument.
Yeah.
He got the 2 solo kills. He had the big flanks.
Yeah.
I think he played a really, really great game. But we'll see how he's going to be able to perform here in this next game. I mean, FlyQuest, I didn't like their drafting game too, but they had to get those early advantages, and they were able to get them. So, it did work out. Sentinels, though, they are becoming a very resilient team. Even when they're in these tough spots, I like when we're getting to highlight Huhi, and he's talking about, keeping their eyes on the prize, right? Like, how they want to play it.
Bist du mal zur Variety-Mannschaft Solo Queue? Ja. Also Claire Obscure steht an, ich weiß noch nicht so ganz wann. Ich weiß noch nicht so ganz wann. Vielleicht Off-Season irgendwann. Nach MSI oder sowas ist ein bisschen Zeit.
But
do you think Gakkos is a Vayne guy? I feel like that has not been his role for this team at all.
He's an Aurelia guy, so he could be a Vayne guy. I feel like Aurelia guys and Vayne guys are pretty
they're the same guy.
They live on the same street at the very least.
They're neighbors.
Yeah, for sure.
You can go knock on his door.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do it. You bring over some eggs. You're discussing the matchups and stuff. Yeah, you know what? They're close enough.
What are you bringing up those eggs for?
Yeah, it's about baking cookies.
Oh, okay.
He just needs some eggs. Good ingredient for any.
In this economy, you can just bring eggs like that. You're built like that, Kobe.
It's kind of a flex. Like top leaders do that.
Yeah, I can give my neighbors eggs. Not a big deal.
Glaubst du, FlyQuest gewinnt? Das kann ich dir nach dem Draft sagen, Bruder.
As we were
Transition.
IM Rio darf ich nicht, also die Sache ist bei IM, also das ist halt ESL und dann musst du den ganzen Tag machen. Und das geht nicht. Geht nicht. Da müssen wir wieder WoE rein? Hölle, nein. Ist Offseason nicht erst im Oktober, November. Ja, aber nach MSI habe ich, glaube ich, 4 Tage frei. MSI endet 12. und dann ist Esports World Cup.
Yeah, very effective as counter pick for either solo lane. And then support here is going to have to go into Jin and Nico.
Ja, hier in der Zeit läuft kein E-Sports. Da vielleicht.
These have been his preferred.
Ja, da hier vielleicht und danach halt, wenn Worlds vorbei ist.
For the Jin, Ezreal and Corki. And that's what they're.
Da kann man so viel machen, da kriege ich das Spiel durch 4 Tage. Kriegen wir dann das nicht durch?
CC bottom lane here with the Nico Jin. But speaking of CC, you get the Vi, so you always start to think about Talia or Ahri. Types of mid laners to pair with it. Don't necessarily have to go that angle because that would reveal the flex of the Anivia. This way you can keep full value triple flex with the Anivia. They don't have to reveal anything. All that they reveal is.
Wie da schon eine ziemlich schon wer dahinter fährt. Laut Gerüchten ist Danush, also Avenir, Nationaltrainer. Ja. Gibt es dafür extra Ersatztage wie Ersatztage?
Deco mid is actually reasonable in some of these, and I feel like when you're playing into a hard dive, Renata goes so crazy. So having the ability.
It would be worth it.
Yeah, to me. But I feel like APA would probably be the only guy who likes Nico mid enough that they would even consider it. So I don't think that's going to happen or anything. Kaisa, as you said, is going to be kind of tipping your hand. You already had the Vi. You are going to be playing dive. Kaisa not really a strong laner if you can't find those all-ins though, so I do kind of worry a little bit about how the 2v2 will go. Though I'm finding myself reevaluating how I'm looking at Anivia, because obviously Anivia, is a stronger laner than I think I initially gave her credit for. The 2v2 can be quite powerful, but I haven't seen as many pairings where it's like Anivia plus weak laner. It's usually Anivia plus Caitlyn, Anivia plus, like Ezreal. I'm seeing those kind of things, more, lane dominant style. So it'll be interesting to see how this works.
Yeah, I think it could have some pretty good success.
2 EMEA-Teams haben sich für den Qualifier qualifiziert. Einmal Solari und einmal Gallios.
On the Anivia support, but we'll see what the picks end up being for solo lanes.
Beide sehr gut. Beide sehr, sehr gut.
FlyQuest, of course, are going to have to reveal a bit more before the full commit is necessary, and they're banning top laners. So Aatrox and Gwen, so they are not believing in the impact of Anivia. And if you're looking at the individual players and thinking about how flexible are the individual players, the champion Anivia is really flexible.
Yeah.
But what's the likelihood of impact playing Anivia, it's probably decently low.
I agree with you, but the funny thing is, he won most fearless in Lock-In. He had the most different champions played, but you know, I still would not see him as, I would not believe that he is playing Vayne.
Wird nicht Top-Laner Anivia spielen, ansonsten abmelden.
But I wouldn't believe it until he actually does lock it in. And,
Ja, abmelden, wenn der Top-Laner Anivia lockt.
An Aatrox Guardian incident or something. We have thrown out a number of bans up towards top side. Obviously, Vayne was a ban over on the Sentinel side, but Gwen as well as Aatrox, both good protection bans for the Scion.
So and I like this because now their top lane bans just say, okay, fine. Even if it is an impact Anivia,
who cares?
Now you can't flex it to not impact it.
Die sollten nahe gehen, auch wenn Scion dagegen fein ist. Die sollten definitiv nahe gehen. Genau. Genau.
We do get our Rel. So Huhi Rel. This has been something that even before these which I think went under the radar, Rel is super underrated. Really came back in a big way with the previous patch buffs, not even this most recent one. But Huhi was one who jumps back on it really early.
Auch okay. Ist morgen um 10 Uhr LCK? Ja. Welchen Tool nutzen wir auf dem Bildschirm zu malen? Epic Pen heißt es. 10 Uhr ist LCK, da machen wir das erste Game, das ist aber ein Dogshit Series. Bro gegen Nongshim um 10 Uhr und dann um 11 Uhr Banger LPS Series wieder, by the way. Machen wir morgen. Morgen Banger LPS Series hier. Top Esports IG und BLG Anyone's Legend. Zwei richtig geile Series. So, wir bekommen 2 Minuten und ich lasse kurz laufen. Sehr geile Series von uns.
Flexes and the threats from Sentinels, and they end up with their players on the champions that they're super insanely comfortable on. So they could have, moved things around and maybe people would be a little bit more uncomfortable with a little bit different champions, but they do.
Verpasst der LPL morgen, bist du blöd. Was gibt's Wichtigeres? Ich bin ganz nah am Weg. Ich bin wahrscheinlich erst so um 1 Uhr daheim. Also ich bin ab 16 Uhr. Ich bin nach LPL bin ich weg. Nach LPL bin ich morgen weg. Und sehen uns am Montag dann wieder.
Anivia is the one piece that's a little bit kind of like out of left field, but obviously you can set up engages by just walling someone off, looking for it in that way. Shen is a great matchup into Scion, though. It is actually really annoying for Scion. You win out in these scraps. As long as you're pulling the Keyblade through the Scion constantly, you can actually break the Soul Furnace shield before you can pop it almost every time. You can taunt to cancel his Decimating Smash. It is a very nice matchup, and I'm a big fan of Shen in general, so I think that is really cool, and you can obviously, be using the Stand United on the Vi or the Kaisa or whoever as they're diving in.
And not only that, but he's also going to have a hard time in team fights. I love Anivia always into Scion too, because now you got to watch while you're driving. Like, it's really difficult when the enemy team has terrain creation and can just block you like that. So they've got a lot of good answers. It also makes Nico's job really difficult because it can be difficult to get a really good Nico ult in this game. Especially if the lane does not go well.
Schau mal.
And in order to try and get a little bit.
Team Liquid Game lohnt sich, wenn man mal früher. Nein, natürlich nicht. Die werden stormen 2-0. Lohnt sich nicht. Trust, lohnt sich nicht. Geht's Vertretung für LEC, aber die Games sind nicht so spannend. Es gibt keine Vertretung, aber die Games sind nicht sehr spannend. Trust, ihr verpasst wirklich nicht viel. Das wird morgen ein 2-0 Vitality und 2-0 Koi, okay? Hier, 2-0, 2-0, das ist scheduled. Das ist super scheduled. Das ist scheduled und dann in der LCS. Scheduled 2-0 und scheduled 2-0. Ihr verpasst legit nichts. Es werden 4 Games.
Going 50-50 smites here, and he won like 3 in a row, and then his smite was upgraded first too because he was winning these smites on his invades early, and completely snowballed and punished the Skarner very heavily. So Griffin has had some games that have looked really good, super snowball, super stomps. And also, sometimes at the hands of either Blabber or Inspired especially, been on the receiving end of some very big jungle snowball games and invades. And this time around, he's on Xin into the Vi, which is super good for you early on. And you can force some skirmishes, you can force towards some nice objectives, especially if you've got pushing lanes like the bottom lane that we're seeing. And both junglers for the third game in
Gute Lane gespielt bisher von Flygerspot. Sehr gut gespielte Lane bisher.
Well, might actually see that. So Xin always has a super nice time in the early duels there.
Man, Rahel is just really struggling to get any of this farm. I mean, the wave is pushed in, but they're actually harassing him as he's trying to pick up the CS quite a bit here. So still going to be able to maintain a full wave advantage down on that bot side with the minions now equalized. So that is pretty significant here early on. Rahel has also used his potion. You know, they used the heal on Huhi as well. He does have his cleanse, but, you know, that's not going to be that helpful in those potential 2v2s. So we'll see if they can start to stabilize a little bit as they get some more levels. Impact did lose the push early on. Obviously, one of the big weaknesses of Shen, and a lot of times when I talk to pro players and I ask about, oh, Shen's really strong right now in solo queue, you know, you guys consider, they always reference the wave clear is too weak. And we are going to see this connected on it. It's going to be the Vi going down pretty much for free.
That sucked.
Walked in, claims the scuttle, but just kind of stood there and took it.
That is a very dangerous crab to go for when your bottom lane is getting pushed in like that.
And your mid lane.
And your mid lane as well. And your
losing jungle matchup.
Vi versus the Xin. And he wants to stick around and make sure he gets this smite correct, which allows Cryogen to get a really good snare. And so props to Cryogen on the Nico.
Das ist nicht gut.
Nico value, so
Kill auf Masso, vor allem in der Bully Lane. Wird nicht besser.
Tale as old as time.
I mean, that was good CC.
Jungler death for a crab.
Maybe he thought, hey, it's worth using my flash for this. I'll just smite it and then I'll flash over the wall. But he gets rooted, then deadly flourish, then scatter, knock up. Like, you know, all this stuff is coming through. I don't even know if the flash scatter connected before he died, but all the other CC was there. And the problem, Masu got first blood, so Umbach might not have to deal with that, but their bot lane was already losing. The wave is frozen on them very heavily now.
Ja, spielt vielleicht was gut hier. Und ja, es ist so fucked. Es ist so fucked für Botlane. Und du kannst halt nicht swappen, ne? Pre-Roll-Quest hätten wir 100% geswappt. 100% hätten wir geswappt. Die Wave crashed, by the way, das ist nicht gut, Masu. Die Wave crashed, Bruder. Die Wave crashed. Oh, Idiot. Zu... Oh, er hätte sie beide rausdünnen müssen.
He feels like he's in a decent enough position and didn't want to miss the cannon.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be painful down there. Masu's going to have really big burst damage. People always complain about Jhin. He doesn't do anything. Mr., you know, useful, meaning useless. But he's going to be actually useful this time around, especially with the Nico lane. Going to have some really, really potent pick potential. I'm still thinking, though, about the crab fight as we see another little trail on jungle
crab
here.
On your brain.
Got crab on the brain. We'll discuss it later, though, because we got dragon on the menu.
Crab on the brain, dragon on the menu. We'll see if FlyQuest can push them back. Flash forward there with the shattering strike on two.
Gut.
Griffin is getting
Griffin hat auch keine Ulti, ja.
so fast. Rahel picks up the kill, and that
Schön.
was important as Rahel had been put so far.
Und dann bekommst Drake. Oh, den Kill da auf Ding zu bekommen ist crazy. Auf Kaiser. Nachdem Botlane so over war. Gut nach Dover.
Support's beating up on junglers, man. Support is OP. They're trashing us out there. Cryogen just wrecked Hombach in the first play. Now Huhi completely annihilates Griffin in the second one as he jumps out after
Super wichtig.
Dragon 2. So
Botlane einigermaßen gesalvaged.
Q flash from Huhi and grabs the flash from Griffin as Griffin flashes to try and get away from it. Boom, right into it, and he gets the stun. So nice supports versus junglers, and supports are 2-0, bro.
Yep, and now Vi is level 6 here. He's going to go back in, and in comes the Stand United.
Oh, war ja. Und Griffin fährt das Ding zum zweiten Mal für eine Krabbe. Oh, war ja.
Dies again. Can't get the smite. Even if he did, he would have died regardless, but at least he'd be going home.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
Got the crab.
Yeah, and you're going to get a plate at the very least on top side.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that Stand United was worth it, because Impact has no TP. You have to be really careful with your Shen ults, because sometimes you're doing great in lane, you ult away. He's down 21 CS. You ulted away from a pushing wave, you're going to give up 2 plates. You're going to be down a lot. He got the kill, or he would be mega down.
So this
und er verletzt gerade so das.
Okay, he loses the cannon, but because it's cannon wave and that took so many turret shots, you know, at least gets back for these.
But 400 gold down off of ult you got to kill for.
It's still very, very painful. It's a huge resource investment because the cooldown, like you're saying, cooldowns in St.
Ja, das swappt natürlich das Game erstmal. Da ist es ziemlich bad, weil der Sensor auch erstmal deutlich weaker ist. Er ist actually nicht deutlich weaker, das ist eine Lüge. Er kann immer noch fighten, wenn er will.
Can't put a price on the destroyed mental of your opponent.
Was?
Flash forward. They're gonna fully send it. The stun is there to follow it up. Quad is in trouble.
Jesus.
But not before he gets one back.
Jesus. Okay.
And all committed for a 1-for-1. Not bad from Quad.
Yeah, and yeah, Hombach full sent it here.
Oh.
You have to think that he knew. He was like, okay, yeah, this guy has flash, but it's all good. I'll just die for it. And he's like, I'm gonna full commit and die for this fight anyway. It'll be worth us like denying some minions and stuff, and trading flashes. But does go down, and yeah, gives they do get at least the counter kill. Of course, the assisted kill always extra there too, plus the minions, plus the tower plate. So.
I think I would have agreed if it was just the Vi flash, but Darkwings had to flash to follow up with the stun.
Yeah,
so with the Anidia flashing too, that makes it a lot more tough. And Impact getting aggressive, missed the pull through on that second Q, and doesn't want to commit to it just yet. Griffin is in the area, so if he overchases, he could be in trouble, but is able to deny this cannon, I think, at the very least. So that should be annoying for Gakkos.
All right, now that we have some time, I'd like to bring you back to the first crab fight and the theory behind it.
Get this crab off your brain.
The reason that Hombach was not scared of the roam for bot lane up is that he literally did think that Nico was Jhin, and he was because he was wearing Masu's skin.
Yeah.
He was wearing Masu's skin. However, you should probably have seen that the Nico left the lane first and probably gonna be the first one up there.
Wie viel Anime gab's heute? Nicht wirklich viel, zumindest.
I can finish the crab and then I get away because Jhin went.
Nicht so viel, also heute war okay.
And then
vertretbar noch.
Like that's the only real threat there. But because it was actually the Nico wearing the Jhin skin, he was able to hit him with a quick root. I think that
I can believe it. I think it's
usually people don't but
don't usually get tricked, but it happens from time to time.
Maybe.
I mean, I could believe it's something like that, or I think it's that, or he just thought, I'll be able to steal this and then flash out over the wall. Because he was hugging the wall, right? But then he just got CC chained full, so maybe just either way, obviously a miscalculation and a pretty big oopsie. The 2v2 going well again here for Masu and Cryogen, up 500 gold. If Rahel hadn't picked up that kill off of the engage, he would be way out of it.
Hexoptics fertig.
Sentinels.
Ja.
1,000 gold is the lane. Going way better here for FlyQuest.
Yep. Hex Optics completed. Also feeling good.
I like that so much more than the Ghostblade Rush, by the way. I know sometimes gym players feel like they need it for that move speed, but gonna open up the curtain call here.
Darkwings kein Flash natürlich.
Full sending out of Darkwings. That is that.
Halten auch, das ist sehr gut. Halten den vierten Shot für Execute Damage.
Him down here. We'll be able to finish him off as out goes Gakkos. He is just ulting through to the enemy base where he could probably look for a recall here. I think he has time.
Yeah, should be able to do it right through the minions. Vi, Q. He doesn't have flash and doesn't want to go, use ulti or anything. Couldn't get there in time. So nice escape from Gakkos, but man, the timing on the bot lane reset. So what happened here is bot lane kind of pressure is leaking. They get their reset for Cryogen and Masu, and they run straight up through mid lane. Right into the range for the Deadly Flourish, into the ultimate, pops him, and then you
get 2 Decks für Sentinels. Goldie trotzdem gut genug. Also ich glaube, hätte Hexoptics so gut aufgestellt. Hexoptics glaube ich einfach sehr, sehr gut allgemein. Ich glaube einfach allgemein super gute Seite.
Jungler's on Dragon, dealing with the dragons.
Kick it down.
So cheap halt.
It's gonna keep leaking. Impacts up towards the top side, is going for that Titanic rush here. Pretty much as expected. Sometimes people will just kind of go full tank. There is a lot of debate amongst the Shen one tricks on, should you go Titanic? Is it too expensive? Is it more effective to just go full tank and, build a little bit of wave clear here with Sunfire or Hollow Radiance, as a lot of people do prefer.
And then there's the debate of, do you want more damage as we have a fight, though?
Yep, here comes the Stand United. They're going to full send it onto Griffin. It is same place, Deja Vu in the middle of everyone. And who he finds a monster engage. The Magnet Storm hitting everyone there as FlyQuest have to run. The Stand United got interrupted, but honestly, that's probably better for Impact.
Yeah, it definitely is. His presence was unnecessary, but the shield and the reset for the...
Ja, ich hätte ihn auch gecancelt, glaube ich.
For Sentinels, who he realm, man, is really, really useful. able to get the big clump on the re-engage. I mean, Sentinels here have 2 dragon stacking, and they keep getting these bottom side plays going in their favor.
And look at all the CDR that he has already. You know, rush the Lucidity boots, grab the Kindle gem. So he's got the early CDR, and back to back, his flashes have been fantastic. But Griffin is just kind of on these solo missions, right? And sometimes, you know, he's able to get these leads and really create massive advantages because he goes for these kind of aggressive plays. But this is a couple times now that he has been punished.
And I mean, it can be hard to fight around this bottom lane because, yes, Shen ultimate, you know, the top side always has something extra they can give to it. Also, wait a second, now Impact under tower.
Ein Fire-Item auf Sion. Er ist nicht up to date mit der EU-Meta.
Knockdown Impact, and now they can set up for a re-dive here onto Huhi. You can see Hambach is moving up.
Wer tankt?
Darkwings, and Hambach is going to be spotted.
Niemand tankt? Seriously? Aber Hambach da, oh mein Gott.
Back over the wall as he went for the Vault Breaker over the side. Now going to be rooted up there by the Jin. Masu on point with the curtain call, trying to get the kill, but instead it will go to Cryogen. FlyQuest with a great play on the top side, knocked down a couple, and are trying to threaten for first tower.
Man, they really good responses here from them too. I mean, we're getting maximum value out of a lot of these deadly flourishes. The range here from Masu really coming in clutch, following up on so many plays. The mid lane play where Quad hit the stun, bot side play where Cryogen hits the snare. Top side here, they're gonna get the tower as well, and that is first tower.
Ja, den dritten Drake verlieren die, oder nicht? Schaut euch mal diese Anivia an, das ist nicht die most useless Anivia, die ihr jemals gesehen habt.
Dragon stacking coming from Sentinels.
Yeah, that is a big gold lead for them. And as you said, Sentinels, their advantage really is just the Dragon.
Jawohl, die hat jetzt Ding fertig, oder? Hat sie jetzt Road of Ages? Müsste Road of Ages fertig sein. Ja, okay, passt.
Have to start giving it up. Impact now has that Titanic completed, but will not be that tanky without any resistances just yet. And
14 Minuten geht sogar.
To try to keep making plays around Huhi and this Stand United.
Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is after Titanic, can I raise you even more damage? Dusk and Dawn, baby. Oh man.
You can raise me.
14 Rod ist schon spät, ja, aber die hat halt auch Mercs gekauft, ne? Das darf man nicht unterschätzen. Mercs frisst so viel Gold. Oh, war ja. Oh, das ist horrible.
No chance to survive there. Didn't have the flash, and Rahel has just been
Wie hat sie Mercy gekauft? Scary times in Mitte, Bro. Text doch auch.
Kai'Sa ultimate. Some of the bot side plays able to answer here. If you give too much money, wait a second, he does get hit with the stun. Can he get fully outplayed with the R button? Not quite yet.
It's about a 90% of the outplay there as Quad getting pretty strong. He's not on a Ludens though, did go for that black fire torch.
Yeah, he's only at 70 splinters now, so he doesn't have his 100 upgrade for the execute, or that would be full outplay.
Yep, would have absolutely destroyed in there. Gakos doing his best to hang on to this tower. Darkwing's just going for the pretty standard New Age Roa rush, but we'll see if he is going to be going in towards Leandry second. I always am a pretty big fan of it, but does not look like it with the Mana Crystal. And now they're trying to set up a potential dive here. In comes
schöne Wall, richtig schöne Wall.
Darkwings is just tanking this up there, has the passive. It takes him a while, but they do eventually knock down Gakos, are able to pull off the dive.
And look at that. It was moments ago we were talking about the FlyQuest over 2,000 gold lead. Immediately chopped down here. Some good plays from Sentinels. And they still have
Roa Mercs so ein illegaler Bild, aber er geht Malignance, das heißt, er will Damage machen. Auf 2 Items will er Damage machen. Oh, wow, wirklich. Wow, wirklich. Sick. Problem ist, Drake ist trotzdem gone, oder? Drake ist trotzdem fucked, oder?
Darkwing's not in position to be able to actually wall this one off, so the charge will come through. I can believe he survived. The Stand United, the Killer Instinct, the Mega Blast Cone.
Alien Alert, legit. Ja, Drake ist trotzdem gone. Schwierig. Und er ist tot. Kein Alien Alert. Anti-Alien Hui.
Oh my gosh. That was almost a Blackfire Torch burn down. Quad barely misses out on
Nein. 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 Nein.
Yo, Titanic, baby.
Nein. Griffin, du bist so dermaßen reported. Er hatte kein Smite, aber Griffin, du bist so dermaßen reported, Bro.
That is an unfortunate series of events.
Wann hat der Typ gesmited? Hat er am Anfang von Drake gesmited? Griffin, du bist so dermaßen reported. Oh mein Gott. Ist es scheiße. Alter, nee, ist es schlecht.
Kobe's reviewing.
So far, my investigation is revealing that he did smite enemy Raptors when he stole them.
Okay.
And that's the,
For
I think
fuck's
that's the
sake.
only
Yeah,
charge.
he just didn't have it.
That's it. But he did get those Raptors.
He did get the Raptors. He did lose the Dragon. The opponents are on soul point, but he got the Raptors.
And Impact, I'm sure, was laughing.
Yeah.
After he was able to steal that
And we
one.
talked about it, you know, sometimes you're just willing to die for Raptors. And if you're willing to die for Raptors, you're definitely willing to lose a game for Raptors, you know? Quad now, he may be dying for this too, as Hambach
What the fuck?
away there by Gatghost. Good peel there by
What the
Gatghost,
fuck?
keeping the Vi out of range, so he was not able to get in for the cease and desist onto Quad. And Masu and Crygen going to be able to push up and should knock down this game as Griffin with Impact, but decides not to fully commit to it.
Okay, bot side as well. They're doing the trailing double solo laner tactic with Gatghost and Quad both having teleports. So they were trying to see if they could find anything there. Can't quite do it. And Gatghost just going to go for his reset now, back up to the other side of the map. Still doesn't have his ult, but they've got both of the teleports. And here we go. Look at the combo. Yeah, so Griffin doesn't have smite, so Q on Impact is really good for stealing jungle monsters already, and then boom. Able to use his Titanic proc. Yeah, Grayson's like, what?
Nice. Sai on top.
Oh, that's a good job by Hambach. Track the
Java jungle.
Did they have a ward on their own Raptors then and saw him use that?
He said
Boah, Orianna oder Asia Mitte.
Called it out, so well done there by Hambach, tracking the enemy smite. And I think it could
Varus AD Carry für immer.
Yeah, he's waiting around.
Und auch Support. Scheißegal. Lulu oder sowas, weiß ich nicht. Wow, das war ein schöner Buff von Hambach. Das war ein wunderschöner Buff von Hambach. Schönes Ding. Sexy. Und Rache kriegt den Execute. Wow, die gewinnen einfach. Wow, die gewinnen einfach. GG. Wow. 5 für 0. Ja, 5 für 1. Das ist insane.
Sentinels are going to take down all of FlyQuest. It's going to be a delayed ace.
Insane. 5 für 1 Fight hier. Wann wir sehen mit der Asia oder Orianna oder Rice.
Looks like Sentinels gonna wrap this one up. Let's take a look at how it started. So
Also insaner Buffer. Schau mal, Hambach Buffer war sick auf den Syndras dann.
Beautiful ultimate from him. He actually immunes the stun.
Jungband für immer. Ja, checke auch. Einige Optionen.
They can't come back from that one, and Rahel jumped onto Masu, the assassin in the back there, able to take out enemy AD carry as well.
I mean, that made such a big difference. Masu just gets caught in transition by Rahel, and that is not a 1v1 you can win once Rahel gets up onto that Jhin. So able to get that. Rahel is getting so fed at this point.
I mean, that was just also just a beautiful snipe with the W. You know, it wasn't like, oh, Jhin had opened up on the ultimate and was a stationary target. He was still walking and hits him with the W and immediately takes it in.
Yeah, I mean, they got smacked in the 2v2 pretty hard, but Rahel is up 1.7k, and that is a pretty damn good position. You can see Impact all time on the Shen. Shen has really fallen out of favor in the last quite a few years, but the early days of Impact, he was playing a ton of it, you know, was known for it, even back in the T1 days before, you know, or excuse me, SKT1 days back in the day when they were still called that. So definitely has been a popular champion at times, and he goes Bandlepipe second. So he's saying, you know what, my carry.
Richtige Antwort ist Rumble, Java und Orianna Varus Karma. Get them out of my game, please.
The attack speed buff is going to get it done.
Ja, ich meine, Karma ist fair. Karma ist sehr fair. Die ganze LCS hier will noch was lernen. Ich glaube, der ist die ganze Zeit in-game. Nee, der ist nicht in-game.
Definitely a worthwhile investment. And he didn't even need a Dusk and Dawn to be able to steal the dragon, so
nope.
It's all good. Titanic was enough. And it for sure was, oh, you see a jungler walking around a low health dragon that's below 1400 already, you're like, that guy for sure doesn't have smite.
Why is that guy not smiting? As FlyQuest trying to get their way in here, this would be Soul, and they're
So, Rachel hat noch keine 3 Items. Mal schauen. Jakos geht halt sehr früh rein, ne? Und Impact ist so unkillable. Oi. Wow, die machen Damage an Jakos. Alter. Warum geht Hui da so früh rein? Warum geht Hui da so früh rein? Oh. Oh. Alien Alert. Alien Alert. Alien Alert, Achtung.
FlyQuest cannot finish off these low health bars.
Ja.
Sentinels walk away from the fight with blinking HP, but
Alien
only
Alert.
one death in the curtain call can find nothing.
Beautiful again from Sentinels. These team fights. You have Anivia on the side, creating so much space. They
play Drache.
first, force Gakkos to actually try and walk away.
Okay, Drache, bitte. Der muss nach diesem Jahr ein gutes Ziel bekommen.
Hell's able to
Reicht.
down the isolated targets there. Here, take a look at it. So walls them off. Then force the other ones, huge zone with the ultimate, even with the engage over the top. He knows he's safe because he still has the egg. So they walk up as Gakkos goes for
Also sehr angenehmer Fight für Darkwings hier.
zone, where Gakkos is walking out.
Frage, warum Hui so schnell den Trigger pullt.
With the Shen able to use the dodge zone, and then even during the re-engage, they're just able to immediately pop Cryogen afterwards. Support Nico goes down. They turn back to the Dragon for a second.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, warum er die Initial Ulti so lange gehalten hat. Wall war nice und so weiter, aber die Initial Ulti so lange zu halten, ja, richtig. Yes, das bin ich müde.
And despite that great start, from the Jhin, it's just looking in these fights like they just don't have the damage to actually knock down that front line. The Syndra and the Jhin really struggling to deal at all with the Shen, and I mean, I hate to kind of beat it at his horse, but I just don't understand Protobelt in a lot of these games. I just feel like it's not really getting that much. Yeah, you have the move, but I just feel like that little dash is...
Midlane über 2 Level, Midlane fast 3 Level down, gleich mit Rotovated Proc, das ist heavy. Das ist super, super heavy. Aber man sieht wahrscheinlich öfter, das können wir den Top-Lane-Main fragen. Sprich...
to get through that, and we saw how much work, the Anivia is kind of just like burning down the opposing front line, and they're working through it a lot easier. So yeah, that plus it's a lot about burst with Jhin and.
Kann ja auch übel gut gehen, das TP-Schild, ja.
Wow, you can have some moments where you can get
schon.
Ultimate, but
Lane ist halt hart, ne?
You're probably just gonna die right after, and if you guys aren't going to be able to burst the enemy, which you're certainly not going to with Chemtech Soul as well on top of it, and already was going to be a task, then seems like Sentinels have a very easy route to try and finish out this game. With Baron and the Dragon Soul, just push all 3 lanes here. You've got a Shen.
Ja, perfektes Beispiel für 3 Lanes, by the way. Sehr wenig Card Engage. Perfektes Beispiel für diese 3 Lanes, was ich vorhin mit Sven besprochen hatte. Wirklich perfektes Beispiel.
And try and go bursty on somebody, Sign ult and Nico or something like that, because your response time is very short, no matter what lane people are coming from, and you're very durable, so you can create a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, the Quad just can't deal with him. He doesn't have the damage. Quad was basically going just trying to wave clear against that Shen. Gakkos being able to hold this top side pretty effectively, but Sentinels have battled back again. They get themselves into these deficits, but they're really playing well from a deficit. They were down, 2.5k around, I don't know, 13, 15 minutes, something like that. And they are in full control about 10 minutes later, looking like the game is going to end soon for them.
Nice long team fights.
Ja, ist gut. Fein. 3 Lanes, gut.
Very important Dragon take too. The steal from Impact ends up being critical here. All around to the entire team, and we get to play our game of, who deserves the player of the game the most? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say Rahel, because of the Kai'Sa, getting a lot of kills. I think that would be valid. But there's a lot.
Kennen keinen mehr, der bei FlyQuest spielt wie. Quad und Masu waren doch schon im Inspired Roster.
Engages. I think this time around I am, leaning towards the Rahel crowd. Even though the previous one I went for Huhi, but definitely liked it. All right, here we go with the attempt for the side lane play. And this is one of those attempts where you're just like, but we got to try something, guys. And so,
yeah.
I mean, you can say, ha, you didn't get it, but
Yeah, I mean, even if Griffin caught up, are they really going to kill him? I mean, they're down, even your top laner is down 3 levels, and Hambach going to be pushing in here. But like you say, you got to try something. Or it is just going to be a slow bleed. And this game definitely looking like it is going in that direction. May I offer up an impact consideration as well? Impact did lose the early lane 1v1, but he stole the dragon. He made non-stop you know, Stand United plays down towards the bot side. I think he's played pretty darn well, and he's frontlining effectively. It's always nice to see Impact back in form. You know, timing that parry really well in the 5v5s on the 4-shot from Masu, and he's playing it out well. It's a lot of good options, I feel like, this game for Sentinels.
So.
Definitely a
Wow, Bloodletters. Okay.
Good zone control, good
Bloodletters als Single, I guess is Kaiser AP.
They finished though, and honestly, only 30 seconds on the Elder Dragon. That might be the angle because their defensive siege is okay. With Anivia, you can always wave clear, but their
Make the
offensive
green deal more damage. Yeah, it is true.
is very slow for Sentinels, so it might be a
I don't know why Hambach didn't go Abyssal yet, that idiot.
for them.
Just go Sanders guy into Abyssal Mask. Let your Korean carry you.
With the Kai'Sa, it's so dangerous to walk up and just try to hit that thing.
Der Insekt aus den Sau ist sehr sus. Ich meine, er geht Visage, right? Das ist ein super Healer-Bild. Wow, Alien Alert, aber er hat geintet. Aha, Flash nach oben. Peelt für ihn. Oh. Okay, das war fairerweise extrem deep von Rahel. Ich weiß nicht, warum er so spät gesonjast hat. War er so lange durchgesieht?
Rahel and arm guard, he really wanted to use it and make a super cool play.
War er so lange durchgesieht?
Getting so deep in there and has to flash out afterwards, doesn't get damage off, and that is the biggest advantage that they have. Regardless of that though, regardless of it, they still have control of the dragon setup. They're still gonna go for that Elder Dragon. Now, it is no Smite FlyQuest on the approach. Griffin, 10 seconds on his death timer. He would also have to walk all the way from base. So, FlyQuest, they're trying to push him off anyway. They want to go for the fight and make sure that during the time where they have no jungler, at least Sentinels don't take the Elder Dragon. And Sentinels will respect the move.
Rachel war bei SK damals gut. By the way, war ja. Ja, Sonjas ist fertig bei Rachel auch.
A tower on the bot side, claim that bounty, and Gatgos does pull the Elder. Humbach has based, and he has a GA now, so he's coming back out from base here. Quad completed the death cap, and he is going to be teleporting back in to join the team. Huhi, though, looking for a flank. He's not been spotted, and Huhi could be getting in the backline. Now Quad going to try to...
Wow, machen die viel Damage an Gatgos. Alter. Wunderschön. Und Rachel hat keine Sams, aber should be fine. Yep. Sexy. Stomp. Honor die Kaiser sofort. Kaiser on. Und den Draft, dass er Impact einen Tank gepickt hat.
This time around, Rahel knows, all right, just the Nico and the Scion on my side, there's not a lot of damage there. I can definitely go for the full engage, uses the upgraded Zhonya's, and Sentinels cleanly are going to end out this game.
Going to be able to march it down here and finish it off. Sentinels going to get their first series win of the split here, move themselves to 1-2. People were favoring FlyQuest in this one. We'll see if FlyQuest can hold on. Their respawns are coming through here very shortly, but Rahel is just focusing down the towers. Masu is back up. Quad is still here. There's a lot of low health bars. The curtains are going to get called, and there's
warte mal.
GA
Hallo?
already. Darkwings is running for the hills. Cryogen trying to get back up. Hombach going to turn and fight and might just kill Cryogen. Can't quite do it. The Elder and the Baron are both alive, and the jungler is dead. They could try to rush out here and get more. Griffin is going to look at the devastation on the face of Golden Glue. He knows this is a problem. How much can FlyQuest get, though? And remember, their Nexus is very exposed.
I always like Elder because then Elder, you can, like, for sure go get the Baron afterwards. Wait, Rahel is gonna... Is Rahel by himself up there?
Is he...
guys.
Oh, Shen on him, Shen on him. Okay, so they can take the Baron with the Shen shield up there to Rahel. So it's going to be a trade. And you do... Again, you're still going to want the Elder for the combat power. But at least for Sentinel's sake, they're able to trade. Rahel goes up there, plenty of damage, and so Sentinels at least are going to be able to salvage it there. I would still like to retract my previous statement of the clean part.
Guys.
for the end, for Sentinels.
That's fair.
Redacted.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we can scrub that out. But FlyQuest, hold on. I do think, you know, yes, the Elder is more powerful, but Sentinels can just delay with the Baron. You've got a Nivea, you've got Baron, you don't need to fight.
Wie machen wir's? Jetzt FlyQuest Elder.
So it was really important that Sentinels did get the Baron.
was sie da gemacht haben gerade, aber...
Of course, FlyQuest do survive and will be looking to try to hard force a fight. Let's see if they can find anything, because the fights are going to be heavily in their favor. And now with this additional power that they have, and they are going to be pushing it up, but yeah, this is all Sentinels really has to do. Just Baron empower these minions, clear out the waves, and just refuse to interact for the next minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, and now you're starting to get a lot of the extra AP for Rahel too, so the W's are going to be super annoying. Those things keep landing too, so he just gets more and more. All right.
FlyQuest, though, maybe going to try to force here. Gakkos moving forward is going to get walled off. They're knocking down the tower. Zambok is on the side. Sentinels intelligently just back it up, but Gakkos is going to try to just force it down. They know this might be their only chance to try to make something happen. Impact on the side is going to get jumped on, knocked up, scattered. Impact.
Hallo, Guys, die haben noch... ja, hallo. Die haben noch 50 Sekunden... Hallo. Ihr verliert jetzt nicht dieses Game. Die haben 50 Sekunden noch. Ihr habt Nash, die haben noch 50 Sekunden älter. Ihr verliert jetzt nicht das Game bis dahin. Sonst Major Crash Out. Okay, ist fein. Okay. Okay, es ist fein. Hallo Henry. Henry, gehst du zur LCS Finals? Danke für den 15, mein Schatz. Gehst du zur LCS Finals? Wir sind in Arizona. Machen sie eine Roadshow. An irgendeine Saufer-Uni anscheinend. Säufer-Uni. Und das Essen, was du letztens gepostet hast, sah so krank aus. Wo sind die denn? Mullet Arena. Mullet Arena in Tampa, Arizona. Ist eine Mehrzweckhalle auf dem Campus der Arizona State University. Ja. Hammer, Mama, danke für den vierten.
Your burst is real, so we'll see if FlyQuest can make anything happen. The Baron buff is about to expire here. 20 seconds. Impact pushing heavily on the bot lane. And FlyQuest, not sure if they want to go for it. Impact just taunts the safety and will stay safe.
They can't really siege with Baron that crazy.
True. Not a good siege comp. That definitely has been established throughout the game. They haven't really been able to push. It's really just two teams looking for fights, right? That has been what this has been all about. You can see a lot of defensive itemization is done now. Rahel has obviously had the Zonies for a long time. Now he has the Banshees on
Banshees
top.
und Zonias.
The GA is almost back for Hambach as well,
Okay.
which is going to be a big one.
Noch ein bisschen zu weit weg. Na, checke.
All right.
Schade.
Man, this is a lot longer than we were looking at or expecting here previously. So now
I mean, Quad hat auf einmal einigermaßen Damage, I guess. Vielleicht braucht er noch einen Void Stuff, aber
any
ja.
sort of a pick here with your defensive vision already up. Sentinels so far doing a good job clearing it out methodically, waiting for the rest of the team here. Support plus jungle, move in, make sure they have plenty of vision to support the split push so you can get your 4-1 split push, apply your pressure. Mid wave already has super minions with the inhibitor down, so you have this extra line. They can try and walk down, and Shen Ultimate is ready here for impact. So setting it up once again. And again, you don't want to make any big blunders because in 2 minutes, the Elder and the Baron are both going to be back on the map.
Hast du Tagebücher der Apothekerin geschaut, Vertigo?
You see something present itself, but you don't want to check into too much darkness. And defensive vision here with a small map is actually, you know,
Actually nicht. Bot nachholen. 48 Folgen durchbingen. Gib ihm.
Objectives to get here, so Sentinels are like, you know what, all right, fine.
Mein Kunde hat heute potenziell 500k Schaden verursacht. Ich glaube, die nächsten paar Wochen werde ich durcharbeiten mit dem Tschüss. Aber du bist ja, also. Bist du dann gebumst? Nee, oder? Wenn es der Kunde auch ist?
Would have expired, and we have found all of the pink ones already. So
Dann bin ich eventuell 5 Tage vorbei. Tschüss.
FlyQuest is going to be
Ja, wirklich 48 Folgen. Gib ihm.
Into full darkness once it does.
Optional noch ein Sofa. Und dann gib ihm. Ich darf es fixen. Ah. Wow, Überstunden.
The plentiful scryers blooms cover a large area. So maybe that will be the key for them to find the opening.
Look at this from Masu. He picks up the Seekers, which I actually think is a pretty intelligent buy. With 1,600 gold, what are you going to get that's better at this point in the game?
Yeah, like Immunivile or something.
Exactly. Immunivile that's coming in, that is going to be really powerful. Maybe that buys time.
Überstunde bei einer 60 Wochen Liebe, ich sag alles unter 80 Stunden ist freiwillige Arbeit. Tatsächlich. Ich sag 80 Stunden und du bist eine Pussy.
Obviously, he has fleet forward, but also has the potion still in inventory. So I do think it's a pretty intelligent buy here, though it is not a common one. They're going to be able to land the Deadly Flourish over onto Huhi. All the teams.
Ja, Seekers of Jin, sie haben es gerade ganz gut erklärt, ne? Gibt dir halt einen freien Pass auf eine Vi-Ulti theoretisch. I get it. Ist es gut? Naja. I get it. Wow. Die Wall ist so OP. Anivia ist balanced. Anivia ist so balanced. Wow. Und die nächste Wall ist wieder ab. Was? Griffin? Fährt das Ding komplett an die Wand mit 188. Krank. Anivia ist so OP. Holy fuck. Okay, endlich ist es over. Endlich ist es over. GG.
FlyQuest is falling. They got there too late, and it was far too little. Gakos will try to buy some time, but they got a wave bot. It doesn't even matter. Sentinels finally will seal the deal with a teleport.
So, Sartorius, geht dein fuck-ass Internet.
Take the series, knock down FlyQuest, and finally claim
Geht dein fuck-ass Internet.
the victory of the split. With a monster performance from Rahel on the Kai'Sa, looking good in this one.
Congratulations to Sentinels. They worked for it. And they
Ist wieder keiner live, warte mal, ist irgendjemand, den ich kenne.
Went to the back of the pit to try and get a miracle steal on the
GG.
Elder, but Hambach